Interrupting Bleep Bloops, a very sequential segment with your sequentially favorite hosts, and humans are falling flat in the G task. This is Achievement Hunting 101. Hello and welcome to Achievement Hunting 101. You have made it to the big 5-0. This is level 50. Guys, we're almost there. We're halfway there to level 100.
Whoa.
With me is the back with the usual panel. I got with me Nate, Al, and Corey. What's up, guys?
Hello.
Hey. Hey. Hello.
You knew that was coming. Oh my gosh.
I can't get my voice out.
That.
I think there's a cat.
Somebody strangled a cat.
Shit. Somebody,
I had to just squeal to try to get the voice that high, and it just epically failed.
somebody strangled the ghost.
Practicing his screamo.
But things that probably didn't fail. Nate, you got any good stories for us?
Sure. I caught a 14.5-inch bass.
Pokemon?
Whoa.
Yeah.
IRL?
It's a pretty big bass. Not gonna lie.
I like big. Oh, never mind. You did it already.
Yes. Yeah, so I was in Minnesota last week, and I was fishing on the lake, and I caught myself a bass and a pike, and apparently we throw pike back. So,
No.
yeah, I'm pretty happy. I'm not going to get to taste it, but, oh well. What I didn't get to do was...
You're not going to get to taste the bass?
I'm not going to get to taste that bass, no.
You don't eat bass?
No, I don't eat the bass, no.
Is it bass? Bass?
So, yeah.
No, bass is dum, dum, dum.
No.
So while the system is down.
All about that bass.
So yeah,
No
so while I was
Cheetos.
away, I did not get any Xbox gaming done.
Oof.
I did keep my I know. I kept my my Bing rewards. Kept that going. So I thought I lost that streak
Oh no.
due to a travel day.
So that's sort of a Minnesota quota.
Kinda. So
It's lucky you. I lost my Microsoft
Virginia?
reward streak. I had a whole 13-day streak.
oh jeez, that's painful. Yeah, I was somewhere in the 60s, and then and then I guess it just didn't log in on my phone or something. I don't know. So I got real scared there. I thought it said I lost my streak, and then nope, it's still there. So hopefully I'm going to hit 100. That's my goal. If I can hit 100, that'll be awesome.
Do you get anything extra? Because I don't make it past 3 days.
Every now and then they give you a bonus like 150 points.
Just randomly.
Well, they're at certain levels, but I don't think they're
Okay.
like every 5 or anything. But I have noticed that as I'm going along, I do get bonus points for that, for hitting certain numbers.
I didn't know that. I thought it was just every 10 days.
It might be every 10. I haven't paid that much attention to it. I just know every now and then I look and it says, oh, you're 3 away from a bonus. So, but when I got back, I was able to game, and that was nice. Yes, that was very nice. It was good to get back and see the RTDL list got regenerated, so I was able to start that. I think I was stuck staring at it for 2 days, and I couldn't do anything with the new one. So I got to start that, and I got to jump into some other games that were maybe going away, and just kind of try to make up for the last 3 months. I think I've been behind on my Foof pace. So I'm trying to get out strong this month and accomplish a lot of makeup. But as for my best gaming stories, I think the day we got back, or I guess it was the very next day, we had took a recovery day from work and popped in Abzu for weekend.
Bless you.
Thank you. And I was able to knock that guy out in a short amount of time. I had started it on the Xbox. I just never finished it. But the girls were sleeping in the next room, so I was able to put a couple hours into Abzu and knock it out. It's a fun game. It performs like trash on my PC, so I'm looking forward to doing it again on
That
the
was
Xbox.
my next question.
Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually getting to see it looked good. And then for my RTDL, I had to get, I think it was like 666 demon kills in Darksiders War Mastered Edition, which I did. And I loved Darksiders, the original. So going back in and doing War Mastered was not a chore. One thing I did notice, this is kind of funny, I don't know if anyone else has had this experience, but in the 360 version, there's an achievement called Aerial Predator, in which you have to kill 150 angelic enemies. And so it's an on-rail shooter. You're on the back of this hippogriff or something similar, and you're just
what?
you're just shooting things. It's Harry Potter. Go look it up. So you're shooting all these things, and it took me forever on the 360 because I think I was doing it in hard mode because I just wanted to do one playthrough. When I did one playthrough in the War Mastered edition, I'm still doing the hard mode, but I got it on my first try. So I feel like they have made it easier because there's definitely no way I retained that knowledge of where to shoot and did nearly as well as I did on the 360. So I just thought that was interesting. If anyone else has played both, I'd like to hear if they had any issues or they noticed that one's easier than the other or not.
Darksiders is one of those games I've always kind of wanted to jump into, but never have.
You'd
this,
hate
that,
it.
or
It's
the
like
other.
Zelda.
It's like Zelda.
I would hate it.
Oh, and it's terrible. Why would anyone play that then?
Hey, listen.
He would like it.
Well, it sounded interesting up until you said Zelda.
You had him at 666.
It's
Definitely.
it's like Zelda for adults.
Yes.
It's like Zelda if Zelda could drink beer.
So it's Zelda, but age 21, so it just sucks times 21. Got it.
Yeah, so give it a shot.
We just lost all of our listeners.
No, they're still here, and they are free to roast you as much as they want.
Elle, did you have a good week? Since I haven't seen you in 2
I missed you, buddy.
Same. Missed you.
The
and
band's
you
back together.
and you.
Hey, do we ever talk about random to-do list on this show?
What's that?
That's a very random topic.
I know. Well, as usual, I've been playing to my list. I am now up to 17 achievements unlocked. I'm trying to get them done as quick as possible because I unfortunately drew the rare replay achievement for doing the Battletoads Turbo Tunnel, which is to clear that tunnel. It's like 2 minutes worth, sitting at almost a 10 ratio by itself.
Whoa.
But I am going to try it before re-rolling it. Most of the solutions say you'll get it done if you just dedicate the whole day to it. Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, reroll that.
Oh, just a whole day? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a reroll.
But
That's cheating. You
But-
can't. No rerolls.
right. This usually the big L rule, but I will amend it this time, and I will say that Elroy has done this achievement, so I think I can do it. This was
If
way
an
back
L
when.
can do it, then you can do it.
Way back when.
So many toads. Lost their lives.
Exactly. Do you remember? That's a Z joke. Wow, it's February 2018 he did this, so yeah, a year and a half ago. Many toads have lost their lives.
I kind of remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a rash of bad jokes relating to Battletoads.
On what the L? No, I don't believe it.
I'll explain that one to you later.
Was that a Star Wars reference?
Not quite.
Oh, okay. Well, it's very similar to a Star Wars reference.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Many Bothans died to bring this.
Oh, I just said there was a rash of bad jokes. One of the Battletoads' names was Rash.
Yes. No, I get it. Because of the name.
Okay, there you go. If you have to explain it, usually sucks, but I'll explain it.
Oh, boy.
So, I conducted an experiment last week to play past
in it?
the 1,000 gamer score. I conducted a different experiment this week, and that is to play a couple of known easy games, but without using guides. The first
How's that
one,
going for you?
Well, the first one was My Big Sister.
Yes.
Which,
Were you able to do that without a guide? It seems kind of annoying
gross,
to do it
dude.
without one.
What? Achievement wise, it's a double-edged sword. So achievement wise, it would have been nice to have a guide for missables because you can't really go back once you miss anything. But I knew the game was only about an hour, and once you know what you're doing, you can just go fly through. But figuring out the puzzles you could do on your own very easily, and the RPG elements of it.
Except there was one puzzle I couldn't get.
Oh yeah,
I had to look at the guide. It's how to leave the house. Like
in the beginning.
I couldn't see the front door. I walk around the house like 3-4 times. I'm like, how the heck do you do?
Because you have to
how
press.
do I get out of here?
So what couldn't you do? What couldn't you figure out? Where
I
the
just
key
didn't see
was,
the
or-
door was at the bottom of
Oh.
the screen. It's
And
like slightly different.
Yeah, and it's a weird mechanic where you have to press A
It's
when
old
you're by a
people's
door.
graphics.
You have to press A when you're by the door. You don't just automatically go through the
I
door.
think there was no prompt. I think
Yes,
you just had to
exactly.
like see it. Yeah. So.
I think I'm about a third of the way through it. I had an RTDL achievement on that, and I
And
got
what?
that last month.
And then
it
what?
stopped.
You just use the guide the whole way through?
Oh no, I used the guide up to that point and then stopped.
But why? You couldn't figure out how to find keys and use keys on your own? That's basically the whole game involves finding keys. And
I just
I found
honestly
a key.
didn't want to.
That's
I just
fine.
wanted to use a guide, get it
So
done.
you used a video guide or a text guide?
Video.
Video guide. Okay.
Bills, maybe? I don't
Okay.
know. I don't remember.
All right.
Someone's
Interesting.
guide.
All right.
Whatever,
All right.
whatever one is on TA.
I had a similar experience. I went with a Ratalaika game and I went without a guide. But
Oh,
it
yeah?
only lasted 2 levels.
The typical rattle like
But
a
you
game.
haven't played this game yet, right, Corey?
Not my big sister.
Yeah,
no.
so I would say I wish there was an achievement missable guide, but then the rest of the game to figure out on your own, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because there's certain achievements
Uh,
for clicking on random things that you might have missed.
Yeah, doesn't the bunker have a guide like that?
Some games do, yeah. A Way Out is good like that. You can kind of glance and see where the achievements are on the TA solution, and then, but you could just play the rest normally. So
it was just that one, or did you play?
well, I recommend this game. It was made with RPG Maker. Yeah, and it's just crazy.
It's definitely
different.
Definitely not your typical Ratalaika.
No,
right?
it's not.
I'm liking it so far. I'm interested in it.
So
I'm definitely
wait,
going to complete it.
Yeah.
there's an RPG maker.
Now wait.
Where-
So when you are using the guide, Foof, I'll ask you since you've done this. Are you
Okay.
just hammering through the dialogue, or are you at least reading the dialogue?
Oh no, I'm reading the dialogue.
Okay.
So that is the one nice part about the guy I'm watching, because he is just hammering through the dialogue. He's skipping everything.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of following the guide of where to go, where to get the key, yada yada, where the missables are. But then I play the game. I'm reading along. I'm figuring out what's going on, because I actually like stories. So
Yes.
I want to take the story, and I've only heard good things about this game.
This game is very story driven. Koosh, what did you do?
I got. Let's see, how far through did I get?
Did you pay attention to the story?
Yeah, I paid attention to a little bit of the story. It's kind of a little mystery sort of thing going on, and very creepy.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the I like the atmosphere that they're building with it. I got to.
Yeah.
I want to say. I don't want to say too much. I got to an area, I think, where you meet your big sister, and that was about it. I need to go back to it. Obviously,
Oh.
I'm looking forward to it. So I think I've only scratched it. I'm probably maybe if it's an hour long, I'm probably a quarter to 2/3 or 1/3.
I think we're right
All
at
right.
about the same spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had the achievement that I had on the RTDL was "I'm sorry, Sombria," if you know what that was, and the description is for everything.
Okay.
So if you know where that's at, that's where I'm at. But yeah, I don't want to. I'm like Nate. I don't want to say too much because it's a story.
Yeah,
I don't
mine
wanna
was-
give it away.
Oh, that's really early. That's in chapter 2. The one,
Yeah,
the
I
one,
got one.
the one I
2,
needed
3,
was in
4,
chapter
5,
7.
6. Yeah, see, I've got 6 achievements so
Yeah.
far.
Oh, okay.
6 out of 28.
Yeah, so I got 12 out of 28. Probably missed a good 3 or 4. Because I found this one video guide that actually timestamps all the achievements you need, so I was able to count how many, and I did miss quite a few that are missable. So, it's kind of a double-edged sword. I really enjoyed figuring it out on my own, but like I kind of said last week, I really feel like it's just time. If you don't do it, then you just got to redo the game, and it's just wasting time. So, depends how you want to do it. All right. If you want to hear what the second game was, it is Corey's other favorite game, Demetrius, the Big Cynical Adventure. Yeah.
His face.
I have to play more of that this week.
I did happen to see going in that the achievement I needed for RTDL was in chapter 6, 5 or 6.
Like the last chapter.
Yeah, no, it was 5. But yes, but I did see that if you miss anything, there is a chapter select, so that encouraged me also to just play on my own. So what this is a point and click. I think it was a Kickstarter game, and it takes place in France, but it was translated very well. There's the occasional typo here and there, but there's a lot of dialogue, a lot of things to click on, and everything you click on has has 2 different things. What do you say, Kenny?
Isn't that the game that has French? That's the game that has the potty humor toggle.
Yes, it does.
Or that's why Elle's playing it.
Yes, when you first started discs, if you want to play with potty humor, all the way, medium, or none.
How do you say none?
But apparently, I read the TA review after starting to play, and apparently, if you have the toilet humor off, you can't complete the game. So the achievements are dependent on it. So he plays this guy who's drunk, and he comes back and his house was burglarized, and it's another mystery. He wants to find out what happened. So he's trying to remember what happened in his house. And
yeah, when I started the game initially, I didn't really read the title all the way, and I thought it was about a Cyclops. It's not.
It's not? The big Cyclops adventure?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so it's fun. Puzzles have been easy to figure out so far. And on each screen, there's 3 cookies to find. It was
cookie.
Yeah.
Cookies related to hints.
Yes, you think you can use them as hints?
Yeah. I think there might be an achievement for going and not using some. I can't remember.
I know there's an achievement for using them, but I haven't used them any yet.
Oh, if there's an achievement for using them and not using them, that's stupid.
That is true. Let me look. And there's different deaths in the game, but they're funny deaths.
Oh, there's a lot of deaths.
Yeah.
That you have to do if you want the completion.
But then they reference the deaths after you died.
Yeah. Luckily, it puts you back right where you died, so you don't really lose progress.
How convenient.
So that's another game that if you try to do on your own, it's more like 6-8 hours maybe. And then if you use the guide, it's probably more like 2 to 4. But I had fun figuring.
I would say I've played 100% guide, and I'm almost at 5 hours.
Wow.
Could be on me, but I don't think so.
Jeez, maybe I need to catch up. So I'm assuming you didn't pay attention to any of the goings on.
I mean, here and there. Probably, I didn't know. I couldn't remember that it happened about a burglary in his house.
No. And you went to the police and you investigate. No, you don't remember any of that.
All games look alike to him.
Because you could use a guide and still pay attention to the story, much like my big sister. Damn it, Corey. There's fun to be had in games,
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Fun.
Like I said, I would not have put this on my my tag if I didn't think it was some cool Cyclops adventure.
Now that you're mentioning these cookies, it's reminding me of Professor Layton's on Nintendo.
Oh, those are well received games.
I would love to see those come over to the Xbox.
There are some missables, I will say. Maybe just 1 or 2. So if you get too far, you will miss out on one. I don't know if chapter select could save you or not.
Oh yeah. All right.
Just to warn you.
So far, I did like both of those games. So
sweet.
The ratios are very low though because guides exist. Damn you, guides!
You play a lot of point and clicks. Is this
this one's easy. This one's easy.
Genres.
No, I don't play a lot of point and clicks. This one just happened to show up on RTDL for the easy games.
A lot of nostalgia though for Shadowgate.
Oh, I do. I do. When it'd be much nicer with the mouse. Wake up, you guys.
Friends only.
King's
Sorry,
Quest.
You said point and click.
Point and click with controller.
I've played one. Mr. Pumpkin's Adventure.
You're within the top 1,500 of point and clicks there, El.
Don't judge the genre by Mr. Pumpkin's Adventure.
Yeah.
I've played that one 100% of a guide. There's no way I was playing that legit. And then I've watched a few videos of point and clicks, and no. I have less than 0 interest.
What were you saying, Corey? I should add myself to a leaderboard and see where I'm at?
Yeah, I thought it's messed up on me. I was trying to see where you were in the point and click leaderboard, but
I have no idea. Because there are some that just don't translate well, like The Raven. Ugh, God.
Now, this is an area of contention. The Telltale games, are they point and click? Because
No.
they are in DA.
Really?
Are they?
They're not.
I thought they were more adventure.
Yes, they are all point and click.
Okay, so maybe I do like some.
I associate point and click with having an inventory and using things in your inventory, like the Artifix Mundi games.
Yeah.
Don't shoot the messenger.
No, this is Chin Doctor's fault as usual.
Darn it, Shin.
All right, Corey, what have you been playing?
Let's get Shin over here. He'll help.
Well, I've
son of a gun, it is
well
point and click.
has been working on my RTDL, so I've put in a lot of time to get some in-game achievements. I have a lot of get through the stories this month, get through the game, so nothing too exciting. But we did have a game departure this week.
Yeah.
Aftercharge has left / is leaving Game Pass on July 9th. Although today is July 9th and I think it's technically still available. So I don't know the exact timing on it, but...
So if you have it launched, will it turn off on you?
I've been told that if the game leaves Game Pass and you still have it going, it will work until you close the game, or you crashes, or a network hiccup or happens or something like that. So you could get lucky.
It works.
And keep going if you you can. But I had started the game back at launch in January. I got a few achievements. We reviewed the game way back when, so check that out, like 20 episodes ago, probably. And it was a okay game, but there were some pretty difficult achievements. Being in Game Pass, you can imagine the ratio that it had. Although with the updates that they've had, they've increased the XP by 2, or double, and they have added private lobbies since launch. So with the announcement of the game departure from Game Pass, a lot of TAers went to play this up, and it's helping and hurting a lot of GTAS teams. So
yeah,
this game was the big one. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was a pretty big one. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I know it was over 5,000 TA. And currently it's at 35. So it's dropped at least 1,500 points over the past week that I've kind of noticed. And I got together with Fufu last week and we knocked out a couple of them. It works a lot better if you have like 4 people-ish. All they can do them, the more the better, but you can do them with less. You just have to work with bots. And so I got together with Foof. We did a few. Koosh was coming back from vacation and he wanted in on the action, and we teamed up. We knocked out a couple more, and then we decided to hold off until Monday night, which was week 2 of GTAS technically. So the decay would not be as bad. And so yesterday I'm talking about, we met up. We also brought along AZ Mongoose, community member.
Winner, robot dinner. Sorry, my Corner script, my achievement just popped.
Oh,
it's like a squirrel with a nut over here trying to talk.
I just got my notification.
He's got his 50 wins.
Continue, Corey.
Is that your highest TA ratio achievement ever?
It's probably close to it. It's at a 4.86.
Thanks, Cronus.
Anyways, AZ Mongoose needed help with one achievement, so he came on board and we helped him out, and he stayed and helped us out. So I greatly appreciate that, and it was nice playing with the new voice. So that was fun. And then Mattism, who's already completed the game, came in and helped us knock out some of those achievements a little easier than we would have had with a bot. So I completed the game and got some nice TA from it. Koosh as well completed the game, and as you just heard, Fufu has gotten really close to completing the game because there are 3. Is it 3?
2.
I would say there are 3 grindy achievements. The rest are kind of miscellaneous. They come with just playing with certain characters, robots, whatever. But the 3 grindy ones account for winning 50 games, disabling 50 of the enemy. You have to be on a certain team for it to count. And leveling up to level 30. Did I already say that? No. Okay. Yeah. So the level 30 and the 50 wins and then the 50 downs are probably what take the longest, with the leveling and the wins being the most long. But the good thing is, as I mentioned, they brought in private lobbies, and so you could add bots to it, and you could weight the team. So I had two bots on my team versus one bot, and just went through matches, and we pretty much won every single one of them. And so you get some good XP if you win, and you always get XP if you just play and have consecutive matches where you're still playing. So it really came easy, especially if you have something that
There's
plays
a pill
it for
for
you. So Fufu is currently hoping that he can keep it going long enough to get level 30 and get his completion. But that was a pretty big win for the week. It kind of came together last minute.
Much last minute.
And then we were able to play around the G task, week 2 cutoff, or week 1 cutoff, I guess, in order to make it to week 2 and get some nice TA from it. So that was fun. You probably didn't have anything better than that, I'm sure, this week, right, Fufu?
Aftercharge is pretty much the high point of the week. Been able to jump in and do some more boosting. That's been fun.
Now, this was a game that came into Game Pass day 1 on its launch, so it has been, just about 6 months, actually, almost to the day.
Yeah, right about that.
January 10th it came out, so yeah, actually, just about. So, I don't know, we were kind of talking about it on Discord today, but this is probably a good candidate to bring it back, right? When you guys think?
I would think so. Especially because if you haven't actually played it, it actually seems like it would be a decent game to play, especially if you have like 5 friends to play it with. So it's like a 3-on-3, and you could kind of like be in a party talking to each other or whatnot. Right.
And of course, you can always buy it. If that's what you want to do. It is a $20 game, but the player pool is probably fairly dead, and if you're looking to boost it and you want to buy it, again, if it leaves Game Pass, I'm sure a lot of us probably don't actually own it, so it might be a little bit of a bummer.
If you're looking to boost it, I would not buy it without saying, "Hey, did anyone here actually buy it?" Because you might very well buy it, and you're the only one that has it. Waste $20.
I think that's more likely than any other scenario. Now, we haven't seen any games leave Game Pass and then come back, right?
I think that's false.
Oh,
but I couldn't tell you which game.
I feel like there's been something.
I have one game in mind. I'm looking it up right now to see if it is in Game Pass. And
I feel like
not.
a Batman came to Game Pass, left, and now it's back again. Unless maybe they've just slowly added them all, and I'm just kind of thinking it's like, oh, there's just so much Batman.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you any specific examples. So I could be completely wrong, but yeah.
There's no saying it will come back.
Yeah, I feel like I would like to see the stats on that, because I just don't think there's anything yet.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm really glad we were able to boost it. Like I said, we probably put in maybe 4 hours, if that, among the 2 nights we got together. Really?
Yeah, right about that.
Like I think I mentioned in a private thing, I probably would not have done this if not for the private lobbies and the easy leveling with the double XP and whatnot. So fortunately that happened and we were able to knock it out. But
yeah, I don't think I would have gone for the completion, but I remember when it first came out, I think it was on a Monday night, and Mattism and Saucy.
Pretty detailed.
Yeah, I think well, because it was a Monday night, so we had just gotten done playing, and then Mattism and Saucy went through, and I think they kept playing. I think they started it, and I was playing Senua's Sacrifice. And I was thinking, oh, well, maybe I'll jump in if these guys are actually going to grind towards some achievements. That ended up not happening. And I thought that ship had sailed. I think I'd only gotten 2 or 3 achievements just from trying it out day one. But this does make me hesitant, especially with the G task going on. This is apparently the year of Game Pass, right? Microsoft is like going really hard on Game Pass, it seems. And now we've got Game Pass Ultimate, so we've got the PC component as well. And it's it's kind of a double-edged sword for achievement hunters. Now you've got access to all this stuff. You can go in, you can try it out, but things leave Game Pass. And then this changes, if you're a completionist, for sure, this changes the way you play. So
I think it depends on the gamer too. It definitely would change the way I play, just for the fact that I don't stay focused on one game usually to completion without going to other stuff.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely doing the same thing. If I look at it's always fun to go back and look at your achievement history, right? Just look at the list, and you can sort of see like the straight shots that you've gone through a game where you're just getting like 20 achievements or 10, and then you see the other ones where it's just scatter shot, which is probably because you're doing RTDL. And there's like 10, 15 different games. Yeah. Or that or the bean dive. Or you're just going for crazy quick gamer score for whatever reason. But, it's kind of making me rethink like how I decide what to play and when I want to play it. Like, there's a lot of stuff in Game Pass I want to try out, but you can't really just try it out, because then if you move on to the next thing, it could be gone in 6 months. It could be gone in less. Or it could be gone longer. But then when it comes time for that to be removed, you pretty much have to drop everything and kind of move on these things. Mm-hmm. Does that bother anybody?
I think it depends on the game.
I got bothered. It would have been nice if the Aftercharge was July 31st, because I'm pretty sure they had said they're going to give you a month's notice. I don't think they did.
Hey, we'd have to look that up.
Yeah, I don't know if this one was a month or not. Actually, it couldn't have been, because that would have been E3 time, and we didn't know about it at E3.
Because and we always get those TA articles that say, new game leaving in July, and it's just like that was like 2 weeks or 3 weeks notice at the most.
I mean, that's my fault. I could have been playing it the last 6 months, but and I realized that during Memorial Day they had a 3 times XP event.
Oh, I forgot about that. I remember seeing something like that in the Discord.
But then I saw they changed it to 2 times permanently after that.
So, what, like, for instance, what's really bugging me is I started Sinner, and I like Sinner. It's kind of an interesting little Dark Souls-like game, but it's difficult. But I bet you that thing's going to go out of Game Pass before too long. And so now I'm just going to have to like drop and like figure out the boss mechanics and kind of go through that game. Which isn't bad, but it's just going to change.
There's another way to look at it.
Oh, okay.
You could look at it as kind of a rental service. So back in the day, we used to go to Blockbuster, pay $5 to rent a game, and then if we liked it, we might go pay $50 for it.
It's true.
This could be a similar type thing. I mean, we could go buy. I could go buy Aftercharge for $16. It won't kill me, but that's more than that's a month and a half of the price of Game Pass. So that when you think of it like that, you're like, oh no, it's too expensive. That's the big problem.
I'm not a completionist, so it's not like I have to complete these things.
You say that.
It just hurts me.
You say that, but you are. You're more than you let on.
A little more than I let on. But it wounds me and hurts me physically to leave easy gamer score on the table when they take it away. And now I have to pay for it if I want to get it.
Definitely it with Aftercharge, and that's why I wanted to do it. Just like, it's easy gamer score. You can quickly do it. It's also nice TA for G-Task. So while it's there, I might as well jump on it.
It's like a what do you call it? It's like a jar full of cookies, but you have so much pizza on the table. You're like, I'm just gonna eat that later, but then your mom takes it away.
No, Mom, I need one more cookie. But yeah, to answer your question prior, or to add on to your question prior, Nate, I think it also does depend on the game. Like for instance, Mass Effect is in Game Pass. Now, if this is something you were wanting to play, you never got around to it, and you see that it's leaving, you might be bummed because it's like a 30-hour game. So it's, do you have the time for that? Oh, no, I don't have the time. You lost it. But then again, if you were just like, oh, I'm starting to play Minecraft, well, that's a game that you can pick up and drop at any point because there's no story to it. There's nothing to really keep you in other than you just want to build the next whatever. Where it's like this big, long story game, if that's leaving Game Pass, you might feel that urge to quickly complete the story more than another game that leaving Game Pass, like Aftercharge.
Yeah, gameplay time left is kind of a factor. Like if I'm 75% of the way through a story, I probably don't want to pay full price for the game. But if it's an online game or a persistent game like Minecraft, then okay, I've been enjoying this. I'm going to buy the game and I'll keep enjoying it for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Microsoft games aren't going anywhere, thankfully.
Yeah, you can't kind of play that to a strategy, if you will.
I would say the big one for me that I wouldn't want to leave now would be Westerado.
That would be a rush to finish, that's for sure.
Would be interesting to see the ratio on that one.
Yeah, just on the topic, like Dandara is leaving, and that's a Metroidvania that I haven't bought yet. And I haven't played
it was
yet.
just on sale last week.
But it's got a speed
and it was just on sale.
Yeah.
So it'll go.
If they would
on
have
sale.
told me, I would have bought it. But
Right.
now I'm going to just be waiting for the next sale.
Yeah, it'll be back on sale. Like, I'm thinking about, like, Below and, what was the other one that came out around the same time as Below?
Ashen.
Similar.
Absolver.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So those were, like, two games I was really looking forward to. And then, like, I was like, oh, well, you know, I get those. I just get them for free. Now, that was Game Pass, right?
Yes.
Those are not Microsoft.
Yes. Yeah.
Correct.
Those could go away at any time.
Yeah, and another
Exchange
game
Brigade.
that I was just kind of looking at is The Gardens Between.
That's so good.
Like, I haven't played it, but if it came out saying, oh, it's leaving in 2 weeks, well, I'm going to hurry up and jump on it because, you know, it's an easy gamerscore game. Hurry up and do it. Get it done with.
Yep.
Because it's definitely something I'm not going to want to buy.
That one you could at least get done with
Yeah,
those.
that one's quick.
Yeah, I just mean that would be something that I would set that time aside to quickly nail and get done.
But yeah, I just thought it was interesting because I'm constantly thinking, you know, how should I be gaming to kind of make the most out of this Game Pass that I have? And it's to the point where I'm like, okay, well, I should stop buying games. I should be playing Game Pass. I should be using this to get all this stuff done. And now that, you know, for the past, I want to say 2 month or two, I've just been, you know, fighting closures, fighting things that are leaving Game Pass. And it's kind of like, it's just been on my mind a little bit. I was wondering if anyone else has been thinking about it.
Absolutely. Always something. There's always something.
There's always something to do with Game Pass. Something, like you said, server closure, something's leaving Game Pass, something that you feel that pressure where I got to do it now or it's going to be too late.
You say it's like a continuum. It's like a continuum of gaming, right?
They said that's the life we choose.
Oh, yeah.
As achievement hunters.
But then on the plus side, then there's new games coming in all the time too, right?
Yeah.
In theory.
The big one that came recently that people seem to be jumping on ratio-wise is Supermarket Shriek.
I concur on that one.
Yeah.
I've heard some good things about that.
Michelle had it on her RTDL, and we decided to try it in co-op. And I was all excited because when you go to log in, it actually has your gamer tag on the screen. So that's usually an indication that achievements will pop for both people. But alas, they didn't. It only popped for her. Yeah. So...
I have that on my RTDL, and I had to play co-op too.
Oh, yeah?
So you played it by yourself?
I did.
So it was opposite? Yeah. She wound up getting it on her own, but this one actually seems easier on your own because you have to, like, we were yelling at each other getting through the first stage.
Oh, pro tip on that. You can... So for those who haven't seen Supermarket Shriek, and as much as I know, I could be wrong, it has to deal with navigating these courses, but you do it by yelling. Is that right?
Ah!
What?
Isn't that right? That's what I got when I read stuff.
Yeah,
about
I think
the
so.
Shriek part of Supermarket Shriek.
Okay.
But you
that
can
makes sense.
turn on like the adaptive mode, and you can just use buttons, and you don't have to yell at all.
That'd be good.
which is good for a late night gamer like myself with a house full of people.
Same. Now, are we worried?
See, that just makes me want to play because I would love to be downstairs in the basement all of a sudden just screaming at the top of my lungs.
Now, are we also
broken,
worried
everyone's asleep.
about starting all these new games with GTAS going on? Things that are just going to bleed ratio?
Depends how far you get into them. Depends how much you do.
Depends on how much you care about GTAS, I guess.
I care for 10 weeks, I'll tell you that.
Okay, yeah, it's probably everybody.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, Game Pass and Game was Gold a little bit less. But if something comes out like the SNK hack, that's going to hurt for sure.
Yeah, I guess these new ones are probably safe, 6 months, 10 weeks. Yeah, I think it fits in that window.
Holy TA, Batman. The TA on Sea of Thieves. Jeez. 2,000 gamer score, 28,000 TA. Woo.
And that's pretty settled.
You could knock that out in 48 hours. Just get it done.
Get Kingsman to help you.
Days. 48 days.
Kingsman will help you.
Kingsman and Awu.
Not Shin Doctor. Not Shin Doctor.
Oh, you definitely went Shin Doctor.
Are you talking about that guy who had a drunken stream of this game?
Absolutely.
That was fun.
He's fun to watch, but you do not want to be trying to get achievements for that guy.
Yeah, we were sending in donations, and we were sending in what to drink next. It was good times. He didn't play for the next 3 days, but I don't remember anything like that.
So let's continue with this. Corey, you got something you want to talk about?
Light news times here during the summer months. So I just want to bring you a news about a title update and
what the
squirrel with a nut again. So I normally probably wouldn't tell you about a title update to a game, but this one is kind of special, and it illuminates various achievement hunters. So that's just why I want to tell you about it. BZ Access Continuum is the game. It's been out, I don't know, 9 months, 9 months to a year, something like that.
I know what that means.
Very low player base, about 100 tracked gamers as of right now. Well, it received its first title update, which added 500 gamer score. And it consists of 4 levels, I believe. 4 trials is what they would call them. And the cool thing about it is there's an esteemed achievement hunter you might have seen if you looked up guides called Dwagonite, also known as Dwaggy, as I'll probably refer to him from the rest of this. And he actually worked with a developer. Many people submit bugs and stuff to developers. I think a lot of achievement hunters, probably more than regular gamers. But he worked with them extensively and built a relationship and helped them actually build these levels for this title update. And TA actually streamed it today. So he was in there and kind of giving some dialogue. And so he said that he helped them push the engine and change the engine in ways to make these new levels. And to go on to what the game is, it's a puzzle platformer. And from what I've seen of it, you can move a person, usually a little bit. But most of the game has to do with rotating the entire level. And so things fall and there's like portals and things move so you can get through at that time. And so you kind of think of how it how like that. And the entire achievement list, just about from a quick glance, is completing levels and then completing levels quickly. So they usually have like a speed run achievement for I don't know, it looks like 30 levels roughly for the main game.
That.
And then so basically this title update just added 4 new levels, and there are achievements for completing each one and then a speed run achievement for each one as well. Now, the extra cool part about this is he was able to completely come up with these times and these achievements and the names for the achievements. And the achievement names are other achievement hunters that you may or may not have seen around in the community. They're obviously ones he's had interactions with and built relationships with, but I'm sure you'll recognize at least a couple of them. But they are Failure Warning, S. Drew 44, Markham Fists, Dwagonite, obviously. If you were able to name an achievement, why wouldn't you name one after yourself? And Carnage. So
That's awesome.
it's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. You got an achievement named after you.
Yeah. I mean, I would be just like pimping the game out after that for sure. Right now, the update will get you 1600 TA, but that's dropped a lot today because they're actually fairly easy trial. I mentioned the TA stream, and the TA streamer was actually able to get them all on stream, which I don't know if you've watched the streams or not before, but not typically grade A gamers.
Please do better for the viewers.
If this interests you, I do recommend you at least check it out. I'm probably going to pick it up because it's on sale this week. So good timing by the developer. It's 50% off, which comes out to $4.99.
Not bad.
So speaking of sales, and I guess I made a Sailgway.
It's not Sailgway.
Oh, I've Sailgwayed myself.
Yep.
Lame
I'll
term.
throw it over to Mr. Moose.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Feels like it's been 2 weeks since I've talked about sales.
You have to have a lot
you
of
can
tabs
only talk
open.
about this week's sales.
No. Oh. Okay, well, I'll screen cap my my receipt. So this week, I'm not going to talk about one of these. I'm going to let you talk about one of the ones I want to talk about, but I'll just mention it briefly. For funsies, I'm looking at a Hat in Time. In fact, I've already bought it. I know that you played it, and yeah, I already picked it up.
Is that based on Hat in 80?
It's like a kind of a Mario 64
nice
3D platformer. Yeah.
3D
yeah.
Yeah, so it looks pretty good. I love that type of game, so I've been waiting for a sale, and it just doesn't keep going as low as I would like it to, so I'm just doing it. Goner is, I think, a frustrating platformer, and I kind of like those. So I'm eyeing it. It's got a tab open. I'm not quite sure yet. As far as games on sale that are good for TA or such, one that's not on people's radars, I think. I don't know how many people like the platformer genre, but Aratana and the Harpy's Feather. So this is a unique platformer. You basically pick up these movement abilities as you're playing through. Instead of getting special attacks, you get different ways to move. And it's $5 down from $10. It's 1,000 gamer score. It's 2,994 TA. So this, there's a lot to be had there. It says 6 to 8 hours. I think it might take longer than that. There's no guide, but there are videos online if you're having issues with particular levels. I ran into an issue with this one where if you're trying to get all the collectibles in a level, for some reason, like the achievement wasn't popping for getting all of the skills, or I can't remember what the type of collectibles are right now. But when I went through, I missed one. I replayed the level. I got all of them. I was pretty sure, and the achievement didn't pop. What I did notice though was that if I played from the very beginning and I completed a level and got everything all in one go, then it did pop. So maybe they fixed it. Maybe I'm smoking something, but I would pay attention to that. If platformers are your thing and you like a lot of TA, you might want to check this one out. Along the same vein, Matilda Castilla EX, Cursed
Easy
Castle.
for you to say.
Thank you. It is a platformer. It is $7.19 down from $11.99. It was in Game Pass previously, and I had meant to try it out. Probably going to pick this one up. It's 1,000 gamer score, 5,125 TA. Probably because it's difficult. It looks a lot like an old school platformer, or an old school challenging platformer, and there is a walkthrough. I think the review on TA said that it was challenging, but they didn't say that it was impossible. So I'm looking to pick that up and get a lot of TA out of that. And then the one I just want to mention, and hopefully you'll go into more detail, once again, Yoku's Island Express. It's on sale. Just buy it. It's great.
Yeah, Mario.
Everyone buy this and he'll stop talking about it.
Yep. Please.
Like Guacamelee.
Oh,
What about
Speaking of
Guacamelee?
Corey.
I just had to add one to my list. Man, skipped over that. Yeah, in the same Metroid vein as that.
Nice.
I want to.
I see what you did there.
I want to
Much
let
better
you.
than Xenoblade.
I want to let you know of the Metroidvania games on sale this week because there's quite a few of them, and there's some good ones. As Kenny just mentioned, I completely skipped my my little list here because it's in the bundle section and not in the regular game section because Guacamelee 2 Complete Edition is 60% off this week. So that's $9 and you get both of the DLC packs that have achievements. Don't need to talk about it too much. It's a great game. Guacamelee 2, just buy it.
Just do it.
Continuing on, we also have Hunter's Legacy, which is 70% off. So it's only $2.09. But as I found out today, it is not available in at least the UK. It might not be available outside of the US or North America. If that's the case and you really want it, just hit me up and maybe we can help you out. Also, Omega Strike is 67% off, so that's just under $4. Owlboy, a little bit more expensive, 40% off, so it's still $15. But it is a good game.
Wow.
And then the last one I think I want to mention is the other one Koosh did, and that was Yoku's Island Express. 67% off, just over $6.50. What I've played of that game, it is super great, super unique, and I'm actually playing pretty much the entire game this month for RTDL, and I'm very much looking forward to finally putting some focus on it because I've probably only have like a third of the game done so far. But just a quick wrap up: Guacamelee 2, Hunter's Legacy, Omega Strike, Owlboy. Did I miss one? That's it.
Sure.
Wait.
I don't think
1,
so.
2, 3, 4. Oh, I can't count. 5. So you can probably get all of that minus Owlboy for under $20 if you kind of just want to like pick and choose Metroidvania to dip your toes into. Koosh might fight me on this, but from best to worst, based on my experience, I'm going to go with Guacamelee 2, Yoku's Island Express, Owlboy, Omega Strike, and Hunter's Legacy. So if you really want to just try to dip your toes in the MV waters, you can't go wrong with Guacamelee or Yoku, I would say.
Yeah, I have no problem with that order. Yeah.
Do you?
No problem.
We'll take it out back later.
Don't wanna
Now,
make a
is
scene.
it wrong to play Guacamelee 2 before you play the first?
Okay. I say it probably doesn't matter too much, but if you have access to Guacamelee 1, I think that you probably should. It definitely continues
the first
the
is on
story.
Game Pass, so
It's Game Pass and it was Games with Gold way back when. And it definitely
Right.
continues the story. So if you are interested in story at all, follow it. If you just want to play one and you don't know if you want to go back and play like the backlog of the Guacamelee series, which is only one game at this point, I don't know. I might say just go ahead and go straight into 2.
I would also say the flow of the levels and where to go and where to backtrack in the first one is a little bit more ambiguous. It's a little bit hard to tell which way to go. There's multiple ways to get to different places. And in the second one, it's a little more streamlined. So if you're kind of put off by, where do I go next, then Guacamelee 2 is maybe a little better for you. I would say go through. I think the second one's a lot harder than the first one in terms of needing to have certain dexterity with the controls. So I think you'll kind of be going from a more difficult to a less difficult game. I think it makes more sense to go from 1 to 2. But, as long as you're playing it, I don't care. Support that developer.
Yeah. Boost RTA. Like
Kenny.
Like Kenny said, Guacamelee 1 is in Game Pass, so if you just want to try it out, then that's obviously probably the best place to do it.
Yeah, Kenny. Talk about some of these. Play some of these games you've been talking about.
I played Guacamelee.
Yeah.
Did you?
He did. I saw him stream it. I popped in and said some stuff.
Did you forget about it already?
Yeah, it was kind of forgettable.
Oof.
Oh, goodness.
Jeez.
Well,
Kids
he's enjoying
these
himself. Well, speaking of which, there's a free Metroidvania game out, Symphony of the Night. You can grab that one. Right, Corey?
I did. I grabbed it.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
It's sitting there.
It's just going to sit there.
A 200-pointer.
I'm very close to playing it.
Yeah, Symphony of the Night is the Games of Gold. And one I do want to mention that was Games of Gold, Rivals of Aether. If you have not picked it up yet, by the time if you're listening to this when it comes out, you only have a few days left. So quickly go ahead and download it or you're going to lose out. It leaves July 16th.
Thanks, Kenny.
Yeah, no problem, bud.
It's really relevant to Saleways.
I mean, that was the ultimate sale. It's free.
If you don't get it, you will have to buy it.
All right. Let me tell you about some easy games on sale this week. Just off the top of my head. 6180 The Moon is $2.
That game is so good.
That's 1 to 2 hours. Elroy's favorite game, Alteric, is supposedly a really amazing game. Oh, it's 4 to 5 hours? I didn't know that. I felt like this game was an easy... Well, maybe it is. Was this the game... Which was the game that he played in the other wrong language? Was that this game?
It started with an A, didn't it?
Okay, I think it was this one. Do you know what I'm talking about?
That does sound familiar, but I can't remember.
He played it in a different language and know what he was doing.
He played it in like Russian.
Yeah.
Elroy.
I thought it was this game.
Elroy is a beautiful soul. If you didn't know, he's also still in the RTDL chat room.
Oh, yeah?
He's not. I fixed it.
Yeah. I mean, I wish his team would show up for the RTDL. Anyway.
Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh. Haunted Halloween 86, another one of Kenny's favorites. $5 for, 15 minutes?
Yep. Get in, get out. That's one that you do not keep playing.
No, you do not want to keep playing that.
A little bit longer of a game, but a fun completion. Hue is $3. If you somehow haven't played this one, grab it.
How did we play that before? Was it Game Pass?
There was this 10-game indie pack for $20, I think.
That's probably it, yeah.
That's how I got my hands on it.
Yeah, you should play that.
At times
it's
was
not
alone.
a Metroidvania, J Black, but you should play it.
And if you're colorblind, there's a little thing to put symbols on each color. Refunked.
I still have not put time in the Refunked. I probably should.
It's a good one. $1.49.
That's always on sale.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of these are, but mentioning the easy ones. The Path of Modus.
$1.49 on sale from like what, $2?
From $3, okay. 50%. Path of Modus, a little bit expensive. $8.24 from $14.99. 1 to 2 hours. Spencer. That's not really a great sale either. $4.54 from $6.99. Good old Siggy. Fart from Mr. Luna, $3. And special shout out if you want a poor imitation of an even poorer game with really bad camera. If you like that piece of crap, Banjo-Kazooie. Ukulele's on sale for $10. That's probably a good price. I'm just trying to trigger Prue. It's pretty easy. And I'll be right back.
You good, Al?
Yeah, he just wanted to come over and give me a hug. I feel bad. I guess he came out to pee or something.
You should have asked him how Paw Patrol was.
Yeah, well, I should ask him if he washed his hands
talk
first.
about that.
But, yeah,
My daughter actually did the Platinums.
Did she do your RTDL too?
She did.
I saw something popped. I was like, I do need to go back.
He refuses to play because
It's too easy. You can't die.
Because you can't die, right? And
He's a skilled platformer. He wants that challenge.
she at first had problems with the, I guess you can call them runner parts. They're parts where
Yeah, those parts suck.
you like fly in the wind. There's a couple parts like that. There was one where you're on the sno. Parts where you can't go back.
My daughter will not play those.
Yeah, so
If she gets to them, it's too much pressure for her.
started off doing better. But unlike adults, kids like repetition. So if you mess up, she's fine going back, do it again. So got that one out of the way. RTDL is great. What other crap did I play this week?
We've already done that part. Let's continue.
I like crap.
No, it's Game Pass time. This is
We
for
just
those that...
talk about Game Pass.
No, this is the stuff that's coming to Game Pass.
Oh,
or
right.
Or is in Game Pass now.
Okay.
Things
See-
we need to rush and play.
Yeah, we found the file. File's now found.
I'm gonna defile you.
So the games that
404.
we had 3 games. We had
I see
3
what you
games
didn't
that
do
were
there.
added on the 4th. On American Day, we had Middle Earth: Shadow of War.
Time Spinner is, I think, PC only.
No achievements on the PC
What?
yet.
What's
It's confirmed it's a shared list.
Yeah. Oh, is
And-
it's gonna launch with it? I thought it was. Can be added.
I think so. I don't know. Blazing Chrome, I think, is both. I'm not sure though. Blazing Chrome is if for the old people who like Contra. Do you know what Contra is, Foof?
I do know what Contra is.
Not Iran Contra.
It
Contraband.
was on the NES, and it's like the 2 soldiers and your
Yeah.
little shooter thing. I've played Contra.
I quizzed him on this a couple weeks ago. I asked him what the Konami code. He had no idea what I was talking about.
I don't know the
He
Konami
gave me
code,
that-
but I know what Contra is.
He gave me that opaque look, like he always gives me,
There's-
Opaque.
because he's Casper. Get it?
Gotcha.
You could
I
Google
had
opaque.
an NES. There's a couple of games I played. Super Mario Worlds 1, 2, 3.
Oh, what?
Duck Hunt, and Contra. Oh, and Turtles. On July 4th, there was a couple of games added. Middle Earth: Shadow of War, and that's to the Xbox One and the PC. My Time at Portia, which is Xbox One and PC. Undertale, which is PC only, and currently has no achievement list, so boo. And
Probably won't
Is that
get one
official?
either.
Aw.
That's sad.
I think I'll still check it out. See, for PC, it's different. I could be at oh, bless you.
Oh, the sneeze.
Could be at work playing it. Check it out. That game is one of those games that just I don't hear much about PC games really.
I've heard a lot of
hear
good
a lot
things
about
about Undertale.
it. And the music's
but-
supposed to be awesome too. I see a lot of metal remixes of their songs, so I want to check it out.
Ooh.
You
Yeah.
have his attention now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now maybe I'll play it.
Yeah.
And also coming July 11th, so the day this show drops, we got Blazing Chrome, which is for the Xbox One and PC. Dead Rising 4 for the Xbox One and PC. That has 2 achievement lists, so that's nice. Lego City Undercover for the Xbox One only. Time Spinner for the PC only. And like Corey said, there's no achievement list, so boo. And
It's a shared list with the console.
Oh,
And
okay.
cross save is what the developer is doing or wants to do. I reached out to him on Twitter and it was something like that.
Yeah, I remember seeing that Twitter thread. They actually
That Twitter
wanted it.
tweet.
Yeah. It was Twitter tweety threads. They wanted to share because, that's what all achievement honors want. It's for one list.
Fewer achievements. Exactly.
They're not catering to us.
I know. Still stupid.
Wait, did someone say catering?
There's no sandwiches.
Oh.
And we already did sales. All right, so let's get into our contest corner. As always, I'm going to talk about the BCM, the Frame Holes Completion Challenge. The one we're going to go over this week is to complete a game with over 90 achievements. Big old game. Corey, what game you want to talk about?
Oh man, I actually had to put some thought and research into this one because as you may or may not guess, I thought it would be easy. There are not that many games with over 90 achievements. And so I was scouring my collection, and it's kind of hard if you go outside your collection to see just achievements. But I did come across a few. Both Forza Horizons 3 and 4 have over 100, and I've started those. but I probably won't put in the time to get that. Now, the only other one that is feasible for me to do, but it feels kind of like a cop-out, is Minecraft. Because those are like at 103 after all the updates. So I
it counts.
found a game
Shin said another couple are coming out, right? It'll be 105 soon.
Supposedly, by the time this airs, there might be a new update.
Jeez.
But the game I settled on is actually still a racer, and it is the Grand Tour game. And this has 112 achievements, only 26 without DLC. Luckily, they've come out with 14 title updates. And so
that's a lot of title updates.
Well, so this had like an update. This was like Incohesion or in. It came out at the same time as the show of the Grand Tour, I guess is what it's called. I don't do cars, so I don't know. And I think a title update came out like every week that a new episode came out, and they somehow, synced them up and had synergy like that. Anyways, everything's out now, and it's $15. You get all 112 achievements in, I don't know, it says 6 to 8 hours excluding DLC packs. So if the DLC is a couple hours each, we're looking at 20, 30 hours, I guess. I don't know. It looks easy enough. I'll just put it that way.
Sounds like it'd be decent points for the BCM as well, if all the title updates and whatnot.
Maybe. I don't know how he tracks that. Estimated completion looks to be 1 to 2 hours or 0 to 1 hours on all these updates. So it's probably not too great. The TA on it is just over 3,000. The gamer score is over 1,500, so like a 2 ratio almost.
2 ratio, and how long was it again?
It's probably going to take you 20 hours.
Well, that's 40 points, and then with each title update being another 0 to 1, I imagine they're pretty good. They're like a 1 ratio each, so like 54 points if you complete it all.
Yeah, not too bad. This is definitely on my list now for a sale coming up. So yeah, that's my prize that my eye's on right now. Yeah, I don't think I stole anybody's thunder there, since almost nobody wrote in our setup document.
I got something.
Kooshmoose did write something.
I did.
I have something too.
All right. It's not going to work for me because I've already completed this game, but if you haven't started it, a fun game, I think it's fun, is Turn On.
That's a good game.
Some people might call it Turn Off.
I was waiting for you to say that. Because that was my first thought. Mm-hmm. And I'm waiting even more because you're wrong.
You have to tell me how I'm wrong in a minute.
I think I know how.
This game has, I think, 91 achievements or 94 or something like that. Certainly over 90, because I would not, put the wrong game in here. I found it to be fun. A little bit of challenge on a couple different levels, but nothing that you can't get past. And I think that's probably going to be your gripe. Yeah, it's a fun game. It's also a good streak saver. It's a very, I want to say, relaxing game, except for the infuriating parts.
Just those few levels.
And I don't want to steal L's thunder, so we'll circle back to me if once he talks about his game.
No. Should we ridicule him now?
Sure.
The game Turn On has 82 achievements.
What? No.
Yep.
No.
So that's what TA says.
No, that's ridiculous.
I thought it was 88. I thought it would just miss it, but yeah, it's got 82.
Because that was almost my auto answer for this game. And I was like, what?
And that's what was so nice about this game is, like, every 2 seconds something was popping.
Huh, look at that. 82. Well, when the DLC comes out and adds another 82 achievements, you should go play this. Regardless, go play the game. Now,
it's a really good game.
For real, though. For real.
For realsy reals.
The Gears games, I think it's Gears 4. I think that's 152.
Go. Easy peasy.
But not easy peasy.
Oh.
Let's check.
And there's a couple... I can double check my numbers now. I swear it's 152 is sticking to my craw for some reason. And then my craw.
Whoa, that's a lot of TA.
Let's look it up.
For Gears of War 4.
Gears of War 4. Let's look at how many. 164. Okay, so I was a little bit low that time.
Wow.
And then
18,000 TA. Woo!
So I found it difficult to search on TA by achievement number. I don't know if you ran into this as well. Now I could sort and see how many achievements I have on a game, but that doesn't let me see games that maybe I haven't played or games that I haven't gotten all of the achievements in. So that made it a little bit difficult. Maybe there's a little bit more TA foo going on that I wasn't aware of. The other games that maybe aren't easy, but the Call of Duty series. I think there was Call of Duty 4 or something. I think also had a lot.
Call of Duty had a surprising number of titles with over 90 achievements.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So if you're close, maybe one of those would work for you.
Oh, man. You left me with the doozy of an answer.
I'm sure.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Disney Fairies has 95 achievements. Crackdown 3 has 95 achievements now with the 2 new updates.
And
Now,
that's
Disney
great
Fairies-
for G-Test, too. That
Disney
TA
Fairies-
is fantastic.
Yeah.
Disney Fairies only has that many if you buy all the DLC, right?
Yeah. And it's all delisted a long time ago, but
Yeah.
Rip.
and if you want a slightly easier route, you can finish the Halo Master Chief Collection, which has 600 achievements.
Yeah, I only went with realistic numbers,
Yeah, even I wasn't going to say that one.
even though you have money on the line. You
Yeah,
won't
right.
complete that.
Yeah, because that was so going to happen.
Waka is a man of his Swedish word.
Oh, I know he is. Waka is the most delightful man ever. I have no doubt that he would hold that up. He also very well knows that that's never going to happen.
What's it called? The Orange Box has 99 achievements, right?
Yeah, but then you have to play Half-Life,
Oh, true.
which I guess it's just I'm a youngin. I don't get the love for Half-Life. I really just I just don't.
There's back in the day, the Orange Box
Back in my
did
day.
something unusual that no other game had done.
Create a fantastic puzzle game.
Right. That is true.
It was a collection of games.
Well, the cap used to be 50 achievements, and that one had 99. It was actually a big deal at the time.
I
Yeah.
remember that.
Pepperidge Farm remembers that.
And Microsoft has broken their own rules several times since, with random games not having exact gamer scores.
Darn you, Condemned.
Condemned, of course. I think Minecraft Story Mode is like 1385 or something annoying like that. 1375. Yeah. Just weird stuff like that.
So the game I'm going to recommend, and I'm sure Corey would recommend this
Oh.
as well.
Yes, there is another one. I couldn't put it on my list. Yeah,
I
go
can put
ahead.
it on mine. Do you know what it is? What do you go ahead and say it and see if it's the same one?
Spyro.
Spyro Reignited Trilogy.
Yes,
That's a good
I
one.
forgot about that.
Yep, that is the one game I recommend with 105 achievements. 3 tremendous games. Corey and I have gushed on and on about this game and just how good it is. It's a great platformer. It came out in the 90s and it holds up. Came out 90s on the PlayStation 1, and it's just beautiful. They did a fantastic job with this.
I mean, it's the definition of what you want in a remake nowadays.
Absolutely. They kept everything the same, just made it pretty.
And then they added subtitles too.
Yes. As of right now, it's $40. If you're cheap, it'll come down. It's always on sale.
There's a bundle with Crash Bandicoot Trilogy as well.
Yes. Which right now is $75.
That has definitely been on sale before.
That's always on sale. Let's see, can that work? Nope. And Crash Bandicoot does not work for this, but it only has 77 achievements. So bad, Crash. Bad.
And the Spyro, just to kind of fill it out, Spyro will probably take you about, in the 30 hours.
Yes.
But it's an enjoyable 30.
It's a very enjoyable 30. And also, if you do want to put this for the BCM, count this towards your BCM, it nets you right around 50 points or so. So that's a good game that you'll enjoy.
Yum.
All right, next contest we're going to talk about. We got to shout out some losers. We're going to talk about the G-Test and the people that were eliminated. All right, so the teams that were eliminated this week, we have one, and that is Team Reforce 3. His team has been eliminated, and along with that, he has also been eliminated from the individual side. Boo.
Come on, Reforce. You're better than that.
Also, on the individual side, we also lost P-Tart. She is out.
She got hit with some massive decay.
I feel like a lot of people got hit with unexpected DK. We've also lost Mr. Philip Wendels, X Towers, and Isret. They all have been eliminated period 1. But on the plus side, now that we've talked about the losers, let's talk about the winners. L, take it away in Proclamation Point.
Proclamation Point. Emperor L has 75 completed games. Nice job. Key 271179 has reached a completion percentage of 50%.
Not bad.
Glass half full or glass half empty? What do you think?
It depends on what he has left. If he's got crappy games, half empty.
Iron Fist of Snuff, 9,250 achievements. P-Tart, 12,500 achievements won. Chin Doctor, 22,500 achievements. Mad Eye Bad Eye, 28,000. And Carnage, 33,000.
Nice.
Kronos reached 300,000 gamer score, and I believe he did it. He likes to, from what I recall, rig his so he gets a bunch of stuff at the same time.
One of them.
He's one of those guys. So he finished the game Crimson Alliance, and with that completion, he had 300,000 on the nose and 275 completions. So awesome job. See, I pay attention.
Good job.
Someone's got to. Wakapale, 550,000 gamer score. Way to go. A recently wed Professor Pluto probably snuck into the bathroom buddy. During the ceremony to play on his Windows phone. And he now has 600,000 TA score. X the Hero is now second in the Pennsylvania Gamerscore leaderboard for ID at Xbox. That's actually pretty specific.
And the number one at Pennsylvania in Iceland. I bet.
He's going to move. He said he wants to move to Iceland. That's probably just to be on all their leaderboards, right?
I can see it.
Carnage is now in the top 10 of games played. Wow. And Elifet77, who plays nothing with Vayners, is now in the top 200 of the Gamerscore leaderboard for Vayners. And in the community spotlight, I'm going to spotlight someone who probably has no idea that they reached a milestone. FuFuCuddilyPoof has 200,000 TA score. Which we could only say is adorable.
Mediocre. Oh, sorry.
Way to go, Foof.
And he got it during recording.
Probably.
Yes.
Thanks, Aftercharge.
It's against the rules.
It was at 199,199.
No, it was more like 101,000, and Aftercharge is just really inflated. And a quick happy birthday to Mr. P-Tart, whose birthday is July 10th. Happy birthday, Mr. P-Tart, who I guess would be handsome.
Jeez, you whiz.
And I guess when he
looking at the gamer by games
I got another
played.
one. When he changes a diaper, you can call that Mr. Pumpkin's Adventure.
I'm looking at the gamer by games played leaderboard.
Yeah.
Carnage has played 3,223 games.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I hit my 500th game played today.
What game was that, Corey?
Supermarket Streak.
Which one?
Supermarket Streak.
Oh, cool. That's a good one. Why not?
I mean, I'm not a leaderboard I chase, so I didn't really think to play something significant, I guess.
I wonder what the average number of games TA people have. Probably 100. Who knows? I think we always overestimate how much achievement hunters play.
Well, it's definitely inflated with what are we on, like 5-6 years of games was gold?
I guess, yeah.
Game Pass now for sure.
Well, that about do it for us this week. If you guys enjoyed the show, please like and review us on your platform of choice. It's a great and free way that extremely helps us out. And also, as always, be sure to smash that subscribe button so you get all the latest shows automatically downloaded to your feed. If you want to send us a Twitter tweet, you can do so by sending us one on the Twitter at Achievements101. Be sure to follow us, me, on Mixer at AH101. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you see all the content updates there. And lastly, join the Discord. The link is discord.io/AH101. All right, guys. Class dismissed. See you next week.
Good night.
Yay, bye.
Wait, 50, yo. 50 Cent, yo.
Blood on the sand now.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Great game.
Homie.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Other sequential segment with Matriarch, X the Hero, and El Royo MJ. Love that guy.
10 glorious weeks have passed since the instant classic segment in which the VSS panel each listed their top 3 Chivo that had 40 gamerscore. It was one for the ages, won numerous awards, and had a record-breaking 2 mentions about it on Discord. We had arrived. It was the good life. And it is for those reasons we decided to milk this cow utterly to the end and move on to the sequel, which is, of course, a similarly themed list using the gamerscore of 50. It is said that you shouldn't throw stones if you live in a glass house, and if you got a glass jaw, you should watch your mouth, 'cause I'll break your face. That was said by 50 Cent. And this truly inspiring quote really speaks to the subjective nature of our choices that we hope you will enjoy in the top 3 Chivos worth 50 gamerscore list. But first, some publicities. So, to wrap it all up, for $4.99 you can get an unforgettable first-person shooter adventure that tackles micropayments, loot boxes, cut content, and everything we all love about modern video games. Shadow of the Loot Box is an attempt to present what video games can become in the near future. Each level of the shooter is a reference to a popular trend in modern game development industry. Will you be able to overcome the thorny path full of microtransactions, loot boxes, and bugs, resisting the temptation to use the in-game store? Speaking of boxes, I am joined today by an individual who ranks 20,509th in the world in boxing gamerscore. He is X the Hero.
What boxing game have I played?
Probably Fight Night, right?
Yeah, there was the one.
You literally had 1,000 points.
Okay, I've played one then. Thanks for that.
Good to know that it puts you that high on the leaderboard.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, man, you just get a couple more, you might break the top 20,000. That's pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. So, also with me is someone who has never registered a single point of gamerscore in boxing games anywhere in the world. She is Matriarch.
Well, this is true. But if there was a gamerscore leaderboard for Punch-Out, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out on the NES, I'd be very low on it, but I would be on there. So I do have that going for me.
Yeah, so the Popinski.
Oh, man, those were the days.
All right, so last time we did this, I went first, then him, then X, and then I went, then him, then X, and then I went, then him, and next. So this time we're all going to move, and M's going to go first, X is going to go second, and then I'll go last. So a reminder to all of you who might have slept since the 10 episodes ago, this is our top 3 each of Chivos with 50 gamerscore. So these are Chivos worth 50 gamerscore that we like. So if you don't like it, too bad. All right. So, Em, why don't you get this party started? Tell us about your favorite first one that you have worth 50 gamerscore.
Well, first I'd like to note that Shadow of the Loot Box has no achievements worth 50 gamerscore.
Thank God.
Don't hold this against it. It is still an amazing, unforgettable first-person shooter adventure that tackles micropayments, loot boxes, and cut content, everything we love about modern video games.
That's quite succinct. Well, I'm going to talk about a third-person shooter for my first choice. And my first choice comes from Army of Two, the 40th Day. I'm going to just doubt that either of you ever played any of the Army of Two games, right?
I played the first one,
Oh, did you? Okay.
co-op split screen with my brother, actually. We had a good time.
Awesome.
I have played the 40th Day one, and actually played a little bit of the Devil's Cartel, I think.
Yes, that was the third one.
Yep.
All right, that's awesome. So you have some idea. So I was introduced first to Army of Two for the reason that many of us are introduced to great games we didn't think would be great games for us. A server closure. So for those of you who know about Army of Two, the first game, they used to have a DLC for it that they announced the server closure was also affecting a game on the main list. And so a whole bunch of us got together and went to GameStop and for $5 purchased a used copy and played this DLC. Now, X, did you get a chance to play that DLC before it went offline?
I did not. I missed that one.
Okay. The DLC was fun, actually. It was sort of like, do you remember American Gladiators? And there was that last thing, the Eliminator?
Nitro!
Right?
Yeah!
And, you know, it'd start with, like, whatever. It's sort of, like, framed like that. Like, you had to go through all these, like, little tasks and get through, like, a maze of events. And it was a good time, but...
I had a problem with the Eliminator.
Yeah, what was that?
Well, see, all right. Now, those of you who watch the show, they brought it back briefly, I think, in the early 2000s, but I kind of grew up with it in the 80s and all that. But, like, your score you get in the event, so like the joust. So let's say you finish first in the joust, and then you get like a little bit of score and more score than the next person. Maybe you score more points when they're shooting the little cannon at you and everything. So you get all these points, and then basically what that translates to is just a few seconds lead in the Eliminator. So basically the whole show is the Eliminator, because like you might be this big dude and you get like, you know, just dominate, and you get like a 10-second head start, and then there's like some little scrawny dude and he can just fly up a net or something like that. And like the whole point of the episode, it's gone, because like basically the show should just be called the Eliminator, because basically that's what it comes down to, is who can do the Eliminator fastest, because there's no score you can put up where if the other person's just really good at the Eliminator that you're going to beat them.
Well, maybe it wouldn't have been canceled if they had taken that into consideration. But that aside, the DLC reminded me of something that was actually quite fun to play. Now, one holdup that people had when they were purchasing this game to get through this DLC is there was also a game in the an achievement in the core list that was going to be very difficult to get, and that was one for doing co-op riot shields and any other co-op stuff. But I have the great benefit, as does X, of having a local co-op buddy. So part of the reason I agreed to do this and do the boost and all that other stuff was because I knew I could play through the campaign with Al locally. And this game quickly became one of our go-tos. Like, we played it entirely local co-op through the campaign, and too many late nights sitting there at 3 a.m. wondering why we're still having this guy yell at us on the 3rd floor on the professional difficulty and all this other stuff. But it was awesome, and we had a great time. So we played Army of Two, the first one, around that time, and Army of Two, the 40th Day was already out as of when that server closure was announced. So we went ahead and jumped on that too. And I like to highlight games that I like personally, right? Because these are personal lists. We're not trying to convince you that we're right or wrong. These are just what matters to us. So I wanted to find a game from an achievement from the Army of Two franchise. And the one I found was from Army of Two, the 40th Day. Touch not a cat, but a glove. This is a collectible achievement, which I know, shock horror. But we actually, once again, chose to play Army of Two, the 40th Day local, even though we could have played online because that was still functional, because there's just something different about sitting on the couch with someone. Also, if you've ever played a game with Al, it's a whole lot easier for me to be able to stand up and point at the television screen to tell him where to go than to go, Al, go left, and not know if his left is my left.
I do that with Kelsey. She's like, where do I go? You go, just go there. Where's there? And then, yeah, you just point.
Right, you stand right up and it's here. You know what? I'm just going to play the game standing to the right of your television. Just let's get this working. And one other fun bit about this achievement. So are you familiar at all with what a Maneki Neko is? You probably are without knowing.
It's the happy cat.
Right, it's a lucky cat.
Oh, yep. See, that's all I needed to know.
Right, so it's that cat that's standing up on its hind legs, and it has one arm up in the air, and sometimes you'll see one that moves, and the arm moves up and down. And you'll see this frequently in businesses that are owned by people of Asian descent, usually. And it's to bring luck to the business. So in the game, you're tasked with finding lucky cats and then shooting them. They're usually hidden in some far away place. And part of the fun we had doing this was that we did it without a guide. And I was thinking about this the other day about how, like, I'm so far removed from trying to find collectibles on my own. And it was a good time. So the achievement, the other thing that struck me about the achievement, though, is touch not a cat but a glove sounds like a reference to something. And I never gave that much thought. Do either of you have any idea what that might be related to?
Like when you like slap people with a glove,
like you're dueling them?
No, like, like you're taunting them, and so you slap them with a glove, and that means you have truly, dissed them, and that they are low. They have been shown the way of your glove slap.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, I did a little research.
Y'all don't know what the glove slap
I know exactly what you're talking about, because I watched Bugs Bunny cartoons, and that was the thing that happened in them.
Yeah, you slap them with a glove, and it's like, I don't know, how would you describe it? Like, it's like you're taunting
a duel.
them.
It's like an invitation, or it's an insult. It's
yes,
to do that.
Slap you with the glove.
Not a duel, pardon me. But I actually did some research, because when I'm not playing video games, I'm a librarian, and that's something I'm expected to do. And apparently, I don't know if the developers took it from this, but it's actually from the motto of a Scottish clan. So I have no idea what the relationship is to anything. Touch not a cat but a targ. I'm pronouncing that terribly, but it effectively means don't touch a cat without a shield. Like, but in the case of the translation is the word without. Don't touch a cat without a glove, because it will strike you. Right. So history lesson.
Maybe that's around the same time the expression the cat in the bag, let the cat out of the bag. So maybe they were shoving too many cats in the bags, and so then they found out they need to wear gloves when they're shoving cats in the bag.
That sounds like the next Ratalaika game.
Oh, goodness. But anyway, to wrap this all up, the first achievement I chose was Touch Not a Cat But a Glove from Army of Two the 40th Day. It is a 50 gamer score achievement worth 125 TA, because it's a collectible, and you know how people are about collectibles. Army of Two the 40th Day wasn't as good as the first one, in my opinion. It kind of lost some of its co-op uniqueness, but still a great game to play in local co-op. And there are good videos out for it if you choose to go that route, but they're all totally findable on your own, and you get the reward of doing it on your own if you choose to do it that way.
Now, I have a question for X regarding this one. You said you had played it a little bit, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. So where do you stand on the... I assume that... Now, my memory is a little foggy about it, but it seems to me that there was a panda that was sexually assaulted in this game.
I have no memory of that, but it might be because I've tried to erase it.
I just wondered where you and Jeffrey stood on that.
I got nothing. So I must have seen it.
Did I dream this up, or did this does this ring a bell? There's like a zoo sequence where there's some weird cutscene in where you can either choose to do one thing or the other, and like the bad outcome is basically a panda gets sexually assaulted.
I mean, I do remember the zoo. That's chapter 3, but I don't remember anything like that.
I thought it was really bizarre. I was thinking, like, a lot of people think pandas are all cute and cuddly, but they actually will tear your face off. And so I was thinking, whatever is going in there after that panda, you might want to be careful, because that thing will get you.
All right. Well, on that note, who's going next? X?
On that note, I was going to talk about pandas, but I'm going to shuffle my order around so as not to taint the image. So number 3. My number three. Oh, there we go. I was waiting for your cue, man.
Sorry.
Is Builder from Gnome's Garden, Gnome's Garden 2, Gnome's Garden 3, The Thief of Castles, and Gnome's Garden, New Homes. It's the same damn achievement in all 4 games. It also exists in Day D Through Time, and I feel like I have to give a shout out because it exists in Lost Artifact Soulstone, but we're 75G, so we can't talk about that yet. Yes, our friends at 8th Floor sure do love consistency, but they mix it up once in a while, so to defy our expectations, in the one game Royal Roads, this same achievement is known as Rebuilder, which shows that there's just a little bit of blip of creativity left over there. So, why is this lovely collection of Builder achievements my third favorite 50G pick? I feel like, and I'm sure you guys will agree, I feel like at this point in my gaming career, I've played every type of game, and I know what I like and what I dislike. It's no secret. I love fighting games, and I generally avoid first-person shooters. Give me a Ubisoft open world any day, but I want nothing to do with the Dark Souls, tough-as-nails kind of games. I have my preferences, we all do, but in the name of achievement hunting, I tend to play things that go outside of my preferred list of genres. I think we all do that as well. And this brings me to Gnome's Garden, Gnome's Garden 2, Gnome's Garden 3, The Thief of Castles, and Gnome's Garden New Home, and also Lost Artifact Soulstone and Day Through Time. The management genre. I never encountered a management game, or a management genre, or whatever it was. So, after playing through 6 of them, I can safely say that they're terrible. I hate them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's a glowing recommendation.
I don't like them at all. Like, I have played some real crap for gamerscore and achievements. Some, like, genuinely hot garbage. Like, I throw things away, and then the garbage can burns. Because it was that hot garbage just for being in the room of the video game. That was a poorly made analogy, but you get my point. So these 8-floor games, like, by level 1, you've seen everything the game has to offer. That's it. The rest of the game, it's 8 hours of monotony and clicking things.
Well, that's not quite true. I mean,
no, that's completely true. You can change it up, and you got to build a different building.
You can
and then you got to pave over a bog, which is no different than clicking on a dead tree. You've
can
seen
speed up your
everything there
builders.
is to see by level 1.
All right, so if you've seen everything, this builder Chivo that you say you've seen 4-5 times,
6
times. What is the description of the builder achievement?
Restore your first building, or something like that.
Oh, so close. You get it for constructing a building. It's the same one for each one. But yeah, I've played all these games too, man. These they are basically the same game. They're a little different here. I'm playing this High Road, or not High Road.
Royal Roads.
Royal Roads, yeah. High Road, that's a listener. Yeah, the Royal Roads, it's very different because there's little gates now.
Ooh, they're really mixing it up.
Yeah.
Well, after playing the other 6, I could not bring myself to play Royal Road, so I don't think I will experience that gated masterpiece. But
well, it's 100 levels now.
Yeah, that's why I stayed away from it. So anyway, I get it. Some people are really into these games. Like, I know you had a student that this was her jam, and that's fine.
Kyla. Shout out to Kyla.
That's totally fine. Everyone likes different games, but management, Gnome's Garden, it is not for me in any way, shape, or form. So why the heck am I making this dreadful experience my number 3 most memorable 50 gamerscore pick? At this point in my gaming, I really don't learn anything about myself because I know what I want to do. But this lovely building achievement, after doing it 6 times, I learned something. I now know without a doubt that I despise management genre games.
Okay, and just for the record, which game was the builder achievement from? Which one did you pick?
I picked it was just a tie between Gnome's Garden.
So it's a 6-way tie.
Garden 2. No, I have to do the list. Gnome's Garden 3, The Thief of Castles. Gnome's Garden New Home. Lost Artifact Soulstone. And Day Through Time.
Okay, very good.
That's okay. I've got your back on the multiple achievements for a pick thing. Don't worry.
Okay.
I got you.
But 6? Ooh. Okay, so
it's the same achievement.
I have my number 3 pick. This one's pretty quick. I enjoy playing the old Xbox on the couch. I enjoy the fact that my lovely wife likes to just sit on the couch next to me and read the newspaper and increase her intelligence while I destroy mine. So and so some of the highlights I have is the games that get her to perk up. I found an acceptable volume level on the TV. It's usually 6. So I can go down to 5 depending on the game. That's pretty low. And so it's kind of in the background. So I never really hear a lot of the games. But I don't want to distract her from reading. I have a good thing going here with this gaming arrangement. So I don't want to rock the boat by bumping it up to like a 7 or an 8, and annoy her. So anyhow, so every once in a while there is a game I like to annoy her with. And so it was Goat Simulator for a while, just the music in the background. It has a very repetitive
oh yes, it does.
Yeah. And it gets in your head. And so it started getting stuck in her head, and that was pretty funny to me. And so I have a good one for you. This one is a game that has a lot of repetitive noises, and it's really over the top in its voiceover, and it's called Video Ball. Have y'all played Video Ball?
I have not played Video Ball.
All right. Well, Video Ball, let's see. I forgot to see how much it is. It's like, $10. Okay, so this is a good time for $10. Now, Video Ball is like over the top with its voice acting talent, whatever you will. And so you fire up Video Ball, and it just goes on all into how great Video Ball is. It's like, it's Video Ball, Video Ball. You like Video Ball because it's Video Ball. I'm not exaggerating. It's that stupid. And so then you fire it up, and it's like one step above Pong. Basically, there's goals on one side, there's a goal on the other side. So if you're playing this game like most Chivo hunters would, you'd have two controllers, and basically you just have to shoot the ball into the back of the net of the idling controller. Now, there's many ways that you can score the ball, and there's different modes and everything where they put obstacles in the way, but you don't have to play the different modes. You can just fire it up with no obstacles in the way, where you can just have a straight shot to the goal. And so it depends on where you shoot it from. So the one that I chose for my first 50 pointer that I really enjoyed was okay, since y'all are picking multiple ones, I'm going to choose two from this game. It is Downtowner and Slam Dunkist, with Slam Dunkist getting the top edge, because Downtowner is only 100 times. So you only have to perform Downtowner 100 times, and that is where you shoot it from, like right next to your goal, so you're shooting it from downtown. And so guess what Video Ball does? When you shoot the ball in from downtown, it goes downtown, and then you shoot another one at downtown. And so it just says that every time you score. Well, that brings me to the one that gets the slight nod, which is Slam Dunkist for 500 slam dunks. And you can pretty much get these pretty quick. And you just go right real close to the goal, and you shoot it in, and it's slam dunk. Every time you shoot it in, slam dunk. And so it is very annoying to someone sitting on the couch next to you, and probably to anybody listening to this podcast. And so, so if you get this game and you enjoy annoying someone that is a helpless party in the room while you're playing it, I suggest you spread it out over multiple times. That way, just when they start to forget about it, then you can fire it up, and then, Video Ball, and it's great. It's a great game, and it's a lot of good fun to be had there.
Nice.
Downtown.
Wow. I mean, I'm annoyed already.
Yeah, really. I couldn't wait for that one to end.
That's going to be the sound bite at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
What's that? We've moved from blaster to slam dunk.
It only took a week. Whoops.
All right.
Blaster.
Are we ready to move on to our round 2 of picks?
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
Okay. So, as actually, when we did this the last time, when we did level 40 or the 40G picks, I also liked picking multiple achievements because it gives you a chance to talk about more. And I've unlocked 20,000 or so achievements. It's hard to pick just 3. So for this week, I also chose to pick the entire Sacrifice DLC from both Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. Because every achievement is that 50
more than
gamerscore.
Is that more than 6?
It is 10.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
y'all are out of control.
Here. Come on,
y'all are out of control here.
Exactly. But here's why. Hear out my logic, and I can just pick one of the 5 if that really makes you feel better. But it's just going to be a random pick, or one of the 10, I should say. So I find that Left 4 Dead Sort of is an interesting way to look at my like Xbox Live experience in a very small sense. See, when I first became an achievement hunter, I didn't have really any friends on Xbox Live, and I was completely fine with that. Mostly I played Lost Odyssey, and if I wanted to play with other people, it was Rock Band locally in the community room at my college. So in an effort to not spend a whole lot of money on games, because I was still at college, I decided to sign up for GameFly. Just in case anyone isn't familiar with GameFly, it's this service where you pay whatever, $7 or $10 a month, and they send you games. It's a rental service. I think they're still around. But anyway, all that's changed over time. So this didn't work out super great because I've already told the story about how I had Midway Arcade Origins for like 8 months. But I did actually get some value out of my time as a member of GameFly. There are 3 titles in particular that come to my mind. The first is Gears of War, and if any of you have heard me talk about games ever, you know that Gears is my jam. I love Gears of War, and I probably never would have discovered it if not for that GameFly membership. The second is Assassin's Creed. I probably never would have bought Assassin's Creed, but to get it from GameFly as a rental, why not? And like many people, I've sort of fallen out of love with that franchise, but for that first set of games, I loved it. And the third game is Left 4 Dead. Now, this will probably sound a little peculiar, but the entire time I had Left 4 Dead from GameFly, I didn't play it with anyone else. And as you know, the game is geared for co-op. That said,
I think it's like more or less designed for that, right?
Yeah, I know that both of you typically don't do online co-op games, but you can do the different campaigns on your own. Did either of you happen to try it, or the fact that it was mostly noted for being a co-op game turned both of you off?
Kendra played a little bit of it, but that was about it. I think it's on my tag, but I've never touched it.
I didn't play this one because I don't handle scary things well at all, so...
Okay, fair enough. So, while I had it from GameFly, once again, I didn't play the game with anyone else. I just enjoyed running the missions. The game has 4 campaigns. I didn't bother with any of the DLC because in that timeline, I really wasn't bothered by completions or anything like that. I liked getting achievements, so I got everything that I could reasonably on my own. So if the game has 50 achievements, I think I got like 30 of them just playing on my own with the GameFly rental. But then I returned it and didn't think about it too much. Until a couple years later when I met a largish group of people on True Achievements who referred to themselves as the Platoon, and I was one of their number. And this was a group of about 15 to 20 people who we could constantly rely on to play multiplayer games. And just before I met them all, they were already engaged in what they called Zombie Tuesdays, which was basically Left 4 Dead. It's a 4-player game, so there were 2 or 3 groups running concurrently who would go through the game. Before I knew it, I owned all the DLC, and we were down to the last piece of the DLC, which is the sacrifice. And in this piece of DLC, players are tasked with turning on 3 generators to open a bridge so that everyone can cross it to escape the zombie hordes. Every single achievement is worth 50 gamerscore. So again, pick them, whichever one. This includes 1 for playing as a special infected, 1 for killing a special infected with an exploding barrel, 1 for playing as Bill, Pills here, and sacrificing yourself for the good of the team, and 1 for turning all the generators on at once, and finally 1 for completing the campaign. I'm going to be 100% honest, I don't remember many of the details. This was 8 years ago at this point. But what I do remember is that the quartet I played the first game with was Ozark Savage, Moexu, Toadstyle Venom, hi Stan, and myself. And we finished the game at 3:30 in the morning. It was a long night of gaming, but we had a great time. Now, this is all wonderful, but what's even better than doing it the first time is being able to do it a second time when Left 4 Dead 2 released the same exact DLC. So this was 6 years later, and I got it together a different group, which would be Elle, Fu, and Prue, and myself. And we're now the Borderlands 2 crew. Yep. The Elle, Fu, Prue crew, and me. So, and now we play Borderlands 2 together. So Left 4 Dead has been sort of a gateway to other gaming experiences. So yes, I cheated. And I'm highlighting all 10 of these achievements. But the Sacrifice DLC and everything about Left 4 Dead is a great time if you have a great group to play it with. And it's just been fun to be able to use this as an excuse to reflect on those moments. So for those reasons, all 10 of them are my number 2 choice. So like I said, X, I have your back.
All right.
Yeah. Well, sounds like X and I are going to have to add that to our boosting group. We'll add that to Wednesdays. Does that sound good, X?
you know what? Wednesday's not going to work for me, but what if we do Zombie Thursday?
Yeah, all right.
All right, and I can drink a zombie while we shoot zombies?
All right, what you got for number 2?
So number 2 was supposed to be my number 3, but, you know, some jerk was like, pandas. And so, well, this one comes to me from the game Kung Fu Panda, and the achievement is Invincible. So, we all know I like pandas. Nobody should be surprised to see this up. Truth be told, though, and I'm being honest with you here, that's not why I'm choosing this one. I mean, maybe like partially, but not really. I hadn't even actually seen the Kung Fu Panda movie when I played this game. So I went into this game knowing nothing about the series. I knew it had Jack Black in it. I knew there was a chubby panda, and somehow he learned Kung Fu, and that was about all I got. So it's funny that you just mentioned Gamefly, M, because I picked this up from Gamefly because it looked like a decently easy 1K in a world full of, before, you know, the world was full of easy 1Ks on Xbox One every week.
Yep.
This was, you know, the tail
different
end.
Time.
Yep,
Different
the tail
time.
end of the 360 era. So I was just scraping the barrel and, Kung Fu Panda. All right, I'll check that out. So I wasn't thrilled about playing a kids game. This was actually, I believe, my first, you know, quote unquote kids game. Now I have plenty of them on my tag, but that's besides the point. But I did it in the name of points. Don't we all? So upon playing, what did I find within Kung Fu Panda? Well, I found a game that actually had no business being as good as it is. The story was cute, the graphics were fine for their time, the gameplay is pretty fluid. I actually, really enjoyed it. I had a blast playing it. So as far as the achievements go, some were pretty easy to get, some, you know, a lot of story ones, a lot of random things you do. Some put up an unexpected challenge. There were a couple on the Dragon Warrior difficulty that were tricky. But then there's this Invincible achievement for completing the entire game without dying. It's not a hard achievement. The game is not hard. We're not talking, you know, Dark Souls Panda here. But it's moderately difficult, as evidenced by its 2.40 ratio, which I feel like that's pretty much unheard of in a kid's movie game, to have, you know, anything over 1.5. So again, it's not hard, but certainly a worthy challenge. So I enjoyed learning... What?
You used the cheat, right?
There's a cheat?
For real?
What?
You didn't? Yeah, it's in the walkthrough, man. There's a cheat. You become invincible. There's one that always have max chi, and then there's another one for I don't know. I forget what it is, but there's 3 cheats. You activate them every time you start up the game, and then you can take as many hits as you want, and all you have to do is just not fall off a ledge.
Oh man, guess who's adding this to their game collection?
Yeah, it's I had it twice on my RTDL this go around, and so to get the completion you have to go all the way through the freaking game, and I got really confused. I don't know if you remember. I was like, why is this not popping? Well, because there's a Dragon Master difficulty level, and so you have to beat the game all the way through, and then you got to beat the game all the way through again. And on your second run through, you can do it on Dragon Master, and so you get an achievement for each stage that you beat under that. And so, I don't know how you would do it without the nice Invincible cheat.
Well, I played this back in 2013, so I don't know if that walkthrough was there. I don't think it was, because I feel like I'd have been all over that. No, I did this one legit.
Wow.
You that was a lot of work, right?
I've got your back again. My next story is about getting an achievement legit. So this is all working out.
Okay,
It's
wow.
all working out.
It's almost like we coordinated this.
Almost.
Well, now that I feel like that 2.40 ratio is actually impressive, knowing that there's a cheese method. I feel like it should be a lot lower. But
I'm sure.
Now I wonder. I feel like people did that with the cheese. It should be a lot higher than 2.4.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, a 4-time damage multiplier. So when you first get into the game, you go to the extras menu, and then you go under the option cheats, and then you type in. It's like an actual option. It says cheats, and then you open it up, and it has little paw prints, and then there's 5 paw prints, and then for infinite chi, it's down, right, left, up, down. For invulnerability, it's down, right, up, left. And for 4 times damage multiplier, up, down, up, right, left.
I mean, that's not going to help me now.
Well, I thought you go back and replay it like we all, just go back and replay games. But
of course.
It's going to help me now. So I appreciate your service.
Okay. Well,
And one little side note on that game is, it would have been too difficult to get the animals right. I mean, I know it's a hypothetical situation in which you have pandas that, speaking English and all that good stuff, but
I know a panda that speaks English.
But does he go fight tigers that speak English? I mean, all the animals speak the same language, and they're all wearing clothes. I don't know. So, but what's up with the rhinos and the gorillas? Mainly the rhinos. I'm a rhino guy. Why are we beating up rhinos? When was the last rhino spotting in freaking China? When was the last gorilla sighting in freaking China? I mean, is there that shortage of animals in China that you couldn't get all authentic animals to the area? Why are we beating up rhinos and gorillas just because they're big? What is this? Sizeism? What are we doing here?
Hey, listen up, redneck. Have you ever been to China?
No, I haven't.
All right,
sorry,
I didn't
Jeremy.
think so. So just trust me when I tell you that there's lots of rhinos and there's lots of gorillas. And hey, have you ever seen a rhino in a tree?
They're that good?
That's how good they are. So you shut up.
All right.
All right, back to F. I love that my panda just called you a redneck. So, anyway, yeah, that's my number 2. It was...
Number 2.
I enjoyed the game. It was a memorable experience from a game that I thought would be complete trash, and for a kid's movie game, has no business being as good as it was. So, yeah.
There you go.
Who am I kidding? I picked it because of pandas. Come on.
Just keep away from Army of Two, man. Now,
we think.
I hope I didn't just imagine that whole thing. So,
if you imagine
have
that,
any,
I don't want to know what goes on in your brain.
Like, if you have any idea what I'm talking about with that part, please hit us up in Discord so I know I'm not crazy. All right, number 2 for me. Since we're in reruns here, I am going to pick I'm going to go with the same route as old X did with his Invincible achievement, and I'm going to go with Vincible.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yes, and so this one I've talked to great lengths about. I think I've talked about it at least twice already. First, it was the one that haunted me in that episode, and then I think we spoke about it when M so very nicely took time out of her very busy schedule and held my hand as she, helped me overcome my fear of crap battles and crap battle. And helped me to make it my 600,000th Chivo, or not Chivo, but point. So that was my milestone for 600,000 gamerscore. And it is, for those of you that maybe are just new listeners, have no idea, maybe you just always have skipped over a segment, but are not this time. Old Crawler Max, the Invincible. I've tried to find some more research on him just to give you something a little different here. Apparently, it's in the mission U.will.die. And it's in the...
it's all caps, too, right?
No, it's just...
Oh, no,
well,
okay.
at least here it is. And I don't know, maybe
No,
it isn't
it
TA,
might not be.
but... All right, and so
I'm
he's
just still thinking of Torg.
He's a fully grown crab worm, not Torg, but Crawler Mag. And he has a heavily armored and spiked shell. He looks like a titanic version of a larva crab worm. So you hear crab often and often, and we all know that, much like the Kenyan mangrove crab, that they're scary as hell. So anyway... He is very difficult to best. He killed completionist Elroy. After M helped me regain my pride, I came back and have gotten quite a few completions. I spent a whole month just finishing up games that I probably wouldn't have otherwise because I was still scared of Crawler Max. And so... that's one of my most memorable for sure. And so it just happens to be 50 gamerscore. So I'm telling you what, this is the last time I'm going to mention this Chivo. So again, many thanks to M. And I'm so glad that crab is out of my life.
Awesome.
You know, they sell a special shampoo to get crabs out of your life.
That's definitely a memorable one. Good stuff.
For sure.
Was happy to be there for 600,000.
Yes, it was. We almost were efficient in getting to it and doing it in a timely fashion.
Yeah, we did all right. We had like a false start there because RTDL got in the way, but not RTDL, G-Task got in the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But, you're right about that for sure. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Number 1.
All right. So for my number 1, I had first picked 2 multiplayer games. So this one, I decided to pick a game that I had to work on myself. And this is an achievement. I could pick all 9 of them, but I will pick one from Your Shape Fitness Evolved. Speaking of earning an achievement legitimately without a cheat. So I definitely know when people think of the Kinect, they usually don't have the fondest memories. Were either of you Kinect guys, not Kinect guys?
I have the one for my Xbox One because it came with it because I bought it on launch day. I still use the voice commands for it.
Okay.
I got mine about 4 years after they were relevant.
Okay. All right, so fair enough. And this is pretty typical, right? Like, usually if you had one at the beginning, you don't really use it. You came to it later. You might have played a game or two. And many people wind up thinking of the Kinect itself as just sort of an unnecessary bump in the road that ruined Microsoft's design philosophy about games for a couple years. Never mind the fact that it was very, very successful when it launched. Unfortunately, this is pretty unfair. Like, it was actually a really cool piece of technology. With problems aside, there definitely were problems. And for those of us who did take advantage of our Kinects by getting off the couch and dancing or doing exercise games, it was pretty enjoyable and at least at the time helped me develop better habits, which I then forgot about for a while. But at the time it was helpful. The fact that it's a gaming device that allowed me to get achievements motivated me in a way that just going out and doing the gym certainly wouldn't have. And many of the games that were on Kinect were really in one of 2 categories. They were the dancing games, like the Just Dances or the Dance Centrals, or exercise games. And in this case, again, I'm going to be talking about Your Shape Fitness Evolved. There's something you need to know about the achievement list in this game. Are either of you familiar with it at all before I get started?
Is it kind of like Xbox Fitness?
Sort of.
Okay.
Sort of.
I feel like I know the general gist of it, but I don't know anything about this one in particular.
Okay, fair enough. The achievement list had classes, sort of like Xbox Fitness expected you to do, but it also had achievements for numbers of calories burned. And it starts off fairly easy. I think there's one for 200, 400, 1,000, but it goes all the way up to 10,000. Now, as cool as the technology was, it wasn't perfect, especially when we're going back to the older games that were released on the hardware. And the tracking could be fooled really, really easily. So it didn't take very long for somebody to figure out that you don't need to burn those 10,000 calories. You can just sit on your chair, wave around a towel, and for whatever reason, the Kinect's going to think that you are running a marathon in your home in about 5 minutes. And it's going to give you a ton of points, and you're going to pick up all these achievements real quick. And these achievements would be the ones for burning 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, on and on to 10,000 calories. Who knows why that worked out that way, but it certainly did. Now, the problem here is that in theory, right, you're not just getting the game for achievements, you're getting it so you can actually be motivated to use those achievements to help you exercise. And I decided when I got Your Shape that I was not going to use any of these cheats. I was going to take the time every day, or however long it took, to actually go through and earn those 10,000 calories.
How long did that last?
Let me finish. The problem with the game is that, as I said before, it does have other calorie achievements along the way. But once you get done with all the smaller achievements for, using a hula hoop for 30 seconds or whatever they may be, the game kind of runs out of things for you to do. And there are things that achievement hunters pretty universally don't like. First of all, if you're just a hunter in it for the quick gamer score, you don't like things that require any particular amount of you actually doing anything. We love shortcuts. And the second thing is grindiness. Achievement hunters don't like grindy things. And when there's an achievement that makes you play the game well beyond its natural life in order for you to pop it, we tend to find our shortcuts. And we don't really frown on this. But as someone who got the Kinect in good faith to help with my health, I wanted to do this legit. So it took me 8 months with some gaps in between, but I was able to earn all 10,000 calories on my own. I burned every single one of those.
Nicely done.
Yeah, let me tell you, it was one of the happiest moments when I actually got that, because I didn't just work hard in terms of playing the game, but I also was in significantly better shape. Like, my cardio was much better and my knees hurt less. It actually did everything that it was supposed to do. And that feeling of accomplishment is worth way more than the 50 gamer score that the game gave me for finishing it. But that was a nice little bow to wrap the whole thing up with, too. So that's my number one choice.
Awesome.
Very nice. When you were talking about, like, the Connect Cheese methods, I think it was a woo. I could be wrong. I'm sorry if it's not a woo. But he posted a picture of this, like, super large, like, he cut out a cardboard man and just hung it up from his ceiling and just left it for Xbox Fitness for, like, 6 days straight.
Yeah, there was a lot of that. And I think it was actually maybe Sasha Morning who posted the this is how you cheese your shape fitness evolved. And especially in that year, it was early G-Tasked, and Connect games always have had good ratios, and that 10,000 calorie one is worth like a 4 ratio on its own, and the ones just beneath it are all also pretty weighty. So you leave your Xbox on for a night with, you know, your chair in front of it in the right way, or just sit and wave a towel for a little bit, and you're going to get a whole bunch of very quote unquote easy gamer score. So yeah, it was the big method to do it. It's probably the top solution on TA if you look at that achievement, is that, you know, here's how you set up your chair to get the achievement for you.
That's awesome.
Cool.
All right.
Well, congrats on that's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah.
Yeah, both overachieving on this list.
Well, you know, and then we got Elroy. But
cheat codes and
my number one. What was that?
I said that's all right. Listen, you overcame your fear of crabs.
I did.
Legit. That's legit.
Peach.
Yeah.
All right, my number one. Elroy, where are you?
Number one.
Oh my gosh.
There we go.
It's a dramatic pause.
You had me worried, though. That was a little too dramatic. All right, so my top choice is the Hack the World achievement from Watch Dogs 2. And there's ultimately nothing super special about this one. It's just the final story achievement in the game, so nothing special in that sense. It's a fun mission. It has a pretty epic ending, actually, but that's not why I chose it as numero uno. So, back in summer 2013, they announced Xbox One coming this November. And there were a couple games I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Like, I was all about the Killer Instinct reboot, but Watch Dogs, Ubi showed that one, and I'm like, ooh, that looks good. So that was a big reason that I put in my pre-order and, you know, stood out at midnight on, I think, November 13th, 2013. The game just looked incredible. I was looking forward to it. It was pretty much everything I wanted in a game. And then it got delayed. Insert sad face. So, it came out the following May, and I loved it. There weren't a ton of games on Xbox One at the time, so I could give it, you know, genuinely, like, my full attention. I know not everybody loved it, but it was everything they showed in the trailer that, you know, I was looking forward to, and it delivered. Yeah, they toned the graphics down. I know that was some controversy, but who cares? I loved it. Loved every second. And the first Watch Dogs was actually my very first completion on Xbox One.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good one, too. That's not like you found some easy game to just bang out, so.
Right. Yeah.
Nice.
I loved it. I adored it. I have the 360 version. I just picked it up on the last sale. I might just go back and play it again just because I want to. Anyway, so they announced the sequel, and of course I was excited. I decided I didn't actually want to do any research. I didn't watch a single trailer. I didn't even watch the E3 thing where they announced it, I believe. I just wanted to go in completely blind, which I was able to do, actually. And the tone shift was jarring at first, but not in a bad way, just unexpected. The first game, it was dark and gritty, and, you know, you're this grizzled mercenary. And then the second one was colorful, upbeat, had all sorts of life and energy, and it was, like, totally hip, bro. Like, the humor, the meme game, I loved it. Not a fan, Elroy?
No, I've never played this game. The only thing I know about it is it's supposed to be like a modern-day Assassin's Creed, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It's like, I think it's literally tied to the same
fair.
Universe.
There are some hints and references, but it's neither confirmed nor denied.
Okay.
But, yeah, they went from this, like, super serious, like, revenge mission to, let's just hack stuff for fun, and let's have fun doing it, and let's troll people. So complete shift in tone, and I loved it. It was perfect. It took what made Watch Dogs great, and then it added humor, which was the only thing really missing. And I know some people weren't fans, because they wanted that, grizzled mercenary, that dark tone, but I related to all the nerdy stuff, and I had a good connection with Marcus, the protagonist, just because of how he was written, just his character. Like, he's a dude I would hang out with if he were real. They just did fantastic with the characters. And I know this is going to be a bold statement, but I've said it before, and I stand by it. Watch Dogs is my favorite current generation new franchise, and Watch Dogs 2 is my favorite current gen game. No doubt about it in my mind.
Wow, that is bold.
It's glowing praise.
Loved
awesome.
it.
Wow.
Yeah, I cannot wait for Legion to come out next year. I might actually take a couple days off school just to play Legion. But anyway, don't let anybody at Wilson listen to that. So I'm going to be very sick. So anyway, to add to my claim of how much I adore this game, Watch Dogs 2 has an estimated completion of 30 to 35 hours for the base game, so it's not the biggest open world, but that's reasonably sized, and this final story achievement was my second to last one. The only one I didn't get before it was collectibles. So that means I went and I did every side mission, I unlocked every upgrade, I did everything that the game had to offer except find a couple collectibles before finishing the main story, just because I wanted to get everything there was to get out of it. So, because it capped off my favorite gaming experience of the last 7 years, Hack the World is my most memorable 50-point achievement. Don't let me down in Legion, alright, Ubisoft? Don't let me down.
Alright.
Awesome. Alright, we ready to wrap this up, Elroy? You got a good number one for us?
Yeah. I got number one. So my number one, I have... okay, I've been holding that on y'all. I have 2 achievements.
What the hell, man?
Well, they're the same thing, basically. So, I have Completionist from Assassin's Creed 3 and By the Book in Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. So, this is kind of where this is the first franchise outside of Dead Rising. So, Dead Rising kind of got me into Xbox. And then I just happened to stumble upon Black Flag, and I played through it, and then I got the Assassin's Creed bug, and so I went through and I just played every last one of them. So I started in, I think, with number 2, and then I went back to number 1, then I did Brotherhood, then Revelations, then AC3, and then I was caught up. And so I 100% synced each one of them. So there's this thing called 100% sync, if you've never played one of the games, where you have to do everything. So, I mean, everything. Everything that the game offers, you have to do it. Every little collectible, every little chest you have to open, every feather you have to collect. Well, actually, they didn't have, I don't think they had 100%. Yeah, they did. Okay, so they had 100% sync back then. However, the problem is back then, they didn't have an achievement for getting the 100% sync. So you would get the 100% sync, and you're just like, oh, well, okay, I got it. But you wouldn't get an actual achievement for it. So, with Completionist in AC3, that was the first time they offered a completionist type achievement. And back then I was in the completionist mode. So it was really cool, is the last achievement you're going to get, and you get it for doing everything. And so what is involved in a full sync, 100% sync? Y'all talked about y'all played at Assassin's Creed games. Did y'all ever go for the 100% sync, or was I the only one that ever did that?
I did the 100% sync in all of them for the missions, but I didn't necessarily do the 100% completion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the first game I did 100% sync. I just missed those feathers, and I want to say in the second game I did as well, but in the other offshoot number 2s I didn't, and 3 is where they lost me.
Yeah, same actually. Now that I'm thinking, I do have the 1K in 1 and 2.
Okay. Well, you can get the 1K in 1 2 without being 100% sync. That's the point here. Is in completion you get the 100% sync in Assassin's Creed 3 before doing everything, and then there's an achievement for it. So what is involved in a 100% sync? So this is kind of where the game you mentioned that the series lost you. Well, this is kind of where the series is starting to lose me, is that you get missions. So like you have to do something. So for example, a real common one is you have to sneak into a blank castle, a house, or whatever, and kill someone. Now in the old days, you had to restraint, so you had to do it in a certain time frame, or you had to remain undetected. That was always annoying. You had to perform 3 ledge assassinations. You had to whatever. There's all these different constraints, and if you screwed it up, you would get say you did 3 out of 4 constraints, and you would get 75%. So you had to do everything. So you had to go through and do each task that they wanted you to do. Now, that involved a lot of strategy, so it was actually kind of a stealth game. You had to figure out how to use your equipment. You had to know every last thing, so you're like, okay, so if I throw a smoke bomb here, then I can run in here and I can do this. So you actually had to think this out, because a lot of them were very difficult. There were several where to remain undetected, you had to kind of watch their patterns and then kind of weave in and out, and it was a lot of work. Now, because other times you couldn't kill anyone. So it's like, well, this would be freaking easy, but I can't kill anybody. So fast forward to the new game. So you got Assassin's Creed Origins and Odyssey. Those are the 2 I've been playing recently. So I think they really changed it around Rogue, and they also changed it around Unity, because in Unity they had a challenge system, and then it wasn't really mission constraints. It was something different. And then they just dropped it all together. And there was nothing like that in Rogue. So it's just basically, hey, beat the game. And so that's the same thing with Origins and Odyssey. So you get these missions and they just ring hollow. So I played Odyssey, and there was a couple missions that stood out to me. One was where I had to go rig some votes for some dude, where I had to make it look like he got voted in on something, and I had to do it discreetly, so that, well, I mean, it makes sense. You know, you're rigging votes, you don't want anybody to see you, and what have you. I mean, it just makes sense in the context. And so I was in old Assassin's Creed mode here. I'm sneaking around. I'm hiding in bushes and all this and that. And then I get spotted, and I was like, oh, dang. And so I get seen, and I kill the guy, and I'm like, okay, it didn't say mission failed. Okay. And so I just marched right into where the ballot box was, and held down the button and rigged the vote, and then I killed a couple more people on the way out, and hey, I did it. All right. And there was nothing. It was like, it made no sense. Like, obviously there's all these dead bodies around this voting box. Hey, maybe something happened here. Nope, it worked. And so then there was a later mission where I had to do the same thing, where I had to add someone's name to a roll to get them citizenship. Well, guess what I did? I'm like, well, I didn't hide in the bush at all. I just ran in like off of Monty Python, where they storm the castle.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and then he like sees him coming away, and then he's still away, and then he's still away, and then he's right there. Well, that's what I did. I just ran in all of this, and I was knifing everybody, killed like 20 citizens, and I got up to like a level 5 bounty on my head, but guess what? I added his name to that list. It might have been written in blood, but I got the mission done, and no one ever raised any suspicions why there was this genocide outside the book where everyone's name is written for citizenship. And so you got to see what I'm getting at. It's like they lost the, I don't know, it's not really Assassin's Creed anymore. There's no mission constraints. Like, that would have been a challenging mission had I had to stay hidden, or I couldn't kill anybody. I had to do this or that. But at this point, it's just like, hey, just get the thing done and, kill as many people as you want. And so that makes me long for the glory days of what I view as the glory days. And I think it was, it reached the peak around the time that you had the completionist and the by the book Chivos in AC3 and AC4, and then they started the downward spiral from there. So those are my 2 number 1 50-point gamerscore Chivos.
Since you said Downward Spiral, I just want to give a shout out to my boy Trent. Downward Spiral is the greatest album ever written.
Truth.
But this is a quick aside, but like you're saying with the Assassin's Creed games, like what made them great was that stealth element and the fact that you had to think about how you were completing your tasks. It reminds me actually of the complaint I've had with Army of Two. Like, the first game really had solid co-op elements, like the back-to-back sections and the co-op riot shield sections. And the further it got from the first game, the more it became another third-person shooter. And it sounds like that's what you're saying with Assassin's Creed. It's just become like another open-world game.
Well, I was playing it like Dead Rising. I was seeing zombies. And I was just slaughtering everybody, and heck, mission accomplished. So, all
right.
Yep. Well, I think that wraps us up with the top 3. And does anybody want to tell where you can find us and all that good stuff? Anybody got any bands to plug?
Yeah, what the heck? We're on True Achievements, and find us on Xbox and join our Discord at discord.io/AH101. And Window of Opportunity, like me on YouTube. And did I miss anything?
The only thing I see that you missed is top 3 American Gladiator Bros. Atlas, Bronco, Cyclone, Gemini, Havoc, Hawk, Laser, Malibu, Nitro, Rebel, Saber, Tank, Thunder, Titan, Tower, Turbo, and Viper.
That sounded a little more than 3, but that's interesting that you said that, because top 3 pandas! Number 3, Mei Shong. Number 2, Bao Bao. And number 1, Jeffy, obviously.
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, I guess let the countdown to our next list begin now.
Nope, right now.
Oh, okay.
Hey, do you want to earn so many achievements? Then try Gamer Gummies! Gummies for people who need sugar, caffeine, more sugar, and Adderall all in one convenient chew. With all new flavors like Twitch Berry. Are the berries twitching, or will you be twitching? It doesn't matter, you'll be totally wired. Be careful though, you're gonna frag so many noobs. Noobicide. What's that? You want passion fruit? Well, how about button mashing fruit? Made with stallion. Real stallion. And not the horse kind. Eat Gamer Gummies and you might get fired for playing so many video games. But that's okay, because you'll be too wired to care, and then you'll have even more time to earn achievements and less time to waste in that silly thing you called a job. Platformers! You'll be good at them. This gummy isn't for casual gamers. It's for gamers who want abnormally fast reflexes. Beat Gianna Sisters' Twisted Dreams on your first attempt because you're that wired. Chariot can be beaten with one hand because your reflexes will be that good. You'll be earning achievements so fast, Microsoft will be like, slow down. And you'll be like, piss off, and punch Bill Gates in the face with your wired fists. You'll be so wired all the time that all of your responsibilities will be like achievements. Achievement dishes, achievement laundry, achievement taxes, achievement cooking, achievement eating, achievement driving, achievement having babies. You'll have so many babies. 1 million babies. Give Twitchberry to your babies and they'll be good at first-person shooters. They'll be unable to blink. People will see them gaming and think that they have no eyelids. They'll think that your babies are snakes. They'll ask your babies to slither and they'll do it because they'll be so wired, but they'll do it while still earning all the kill streaks. And then they'll be recruited for esports, and they'll compete against actual esports people, and they'll dominate esports, and they'll get their very own channel on Mixer. Hey, go with the sure thing. Don't gamble on your gamer score needs. Eat Gamer Gummies! The gummies that will make you earn achievements faster than Avatar wishes it could. So wired!
Warning, may contain redemption denied.
Hello and welcome to week 2 of the G-Tasked. I'm Wakapale, and since I'm stuck in the past, the period hasn't rolled over yet, but I guess you didn't need more than 100 TA difference to stay in the competition the first week. I'm sure you know of Human Fall Flat, the Game Pass puzzle platformer where you try to control a human-shaped boneless blob with very sticky hands attempting to reach the exit of a level while performing silly physics-based puzzles. The puzzles themselves are not very tricky, but executing them is, since the entity you are controlling moves like a drunk toddler with super-powered arms. Human Fall Flat is a very divisive game. Some genuinely enjoy it, me included, while others loathe it with a passion. I've seen at least one person on my friend feed calling it a cancer on gaming and one of the worst games they've ever played. The game can also be enjoyed in co-op up to 8 players, where the achievements are unlocked for everyone, even if just one person completes the required action, making it a potentially very effective way to complete the game, since each player can focus on a different achievement to everyone's benefit. Most achievements are easier to pull off in co-op, but a few, such as the time-based or survival achievement, might be easier by yourself. Human Fall Flat is a very breakable game that rewards thinking outside the box. See a catapult in front of a breakable wall? Either load the catapult with rocks or shoot yourself over or through the wall. Most walls are climbable if you learn how to. It can be very frustrating to get the hang of, but once you do, you can bypass most of the puzzles by simply climbing over them. You can also pull yourself under objects with some creative use of the controls, saving you from at least one time-consuming puzzle. Since release, Human Fall Flat has received a few title updates with more content promised in the future. It is currently worth 1,240 gamerscore and a 3,175 TA, making the TA differential almost 2,000. A completion by yourself will likely take you around 10 hours, but with a friend or 7 it can be done significantly faster. Best of luck in round 2, and don't let the decay bite you too bad. Have a nice day, everyone.